You think he wanted? Well, we'll hold off until we get a few people in here. If we go live
Okay.
now, they'll be able to see it in a bit. And that is
Happy
like,
Valentine's Day, by the way.
oh, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
That was
We're gonna
yesterday for me.
we're also gonna have the Devil's Due, who's on Twitter. I don't think he has a YouTube, but he's gonna be
Oh,
joining
that's
us.
gonna be cool.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's the Great Gun Shogun. He's here. This is cool.
Hey,
Hello.
my buddy,
I'm
my
sorry about
pal.
the long wait on this, by the way. I
It's
just,
all right.
I'm sick and I'm having to run around and my internet kept dying, so I've turned off everything. It should work. If we die off, I apologize.
It's all right. Generally, I think it's not really the worst thing ever. I mean, I could be honest with you right now. I'm usually worse when it comes to waiting. I'm very impatient.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, I didn't mean for it to be like so slow, but I was like, oh
I
no, if this turns
fucking,
off, I have
if
to
you want
like
me to be honest with you, I blame Mephisto.
yeah, you do blame Mephisto. Mephisto wants this stream to stop along with Joe Quesada.
Well,
They both want
what,
this.
what if they're the same person?
They are. They are the same person. Because Joe Quesada is also responsible for several other terrible things going wrong in the Marvel
Multiple
Universe.
women dying.
Oh, all the women lying, I will use that to my advantage. He did do a women killing spree, you can't lie about that. He also censored everything. He is the spark of the SJWs. That's his thing.
That's
He
actually
censored
true.
anyway.
The article about Dan Slott saying the reason why the marriage will never ever happen, he says it's because you don't know the corporate structure. And a friend of mine, Links, did a little digging, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
found out that it's because Mr. Quesadilla
Yep.
is head of creative. He's the one who
Yep.
vetoes the. He is the one who's giving the SJWs what they want. He's the one who
Yep.
okays their ideas. He's the
Yep.
one who okays the idea of Spider-Man being married, but make sure it's not the 616 version, Dan Slott. I want it to never be that version.
Yep. And that's why Tom DeFalco said it can return. It just needs the board must change. And guess what's happening right now? He can kiss all the asses he wants, but he has caused all of this turmoil. He's dead.
I hope so.
Oh
Because like my last plan to curse him with a hacker from the deep web did not
my.
go so well. That never happened, by the way.
Yeah, I hope not.
No. Why would I send a hacker to curse people? Hey,
I
I
don't
want
know.
you to send this witch's curse via email.
Hmm. Oh, I'm sorry, Alexis. Man, we're getting quite a few people in the chat. I guess everybody's like interested in this. Hi guys. It's going to be a very, I guess, short stream.
Dude,
I don't know how long.
I'm getting a lot of traction for the Peter and MJ singing in the rain tweet that I did like a few days ago.
Beautiful. I loved it. I had never seen that before. For anybody that's joining and you're not looking at this, the definition or whatever, the summary of this stream, we're talking about Peter and MJ. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh my god, the best couple. I'm a lonely kid, and those two together had always brightened up my day when I was a kid. In my little like plot outline for a Spider-Man show, it legitimately just ends with his wedding with MJ, and Mephisto gets stabbed in the chest with a pen.
Oh yeah, he's gonna say that.
Yeah. Oh my god. That was Lynx's idea, though. I shouldn't take 100% credit. The most credit I did was have Blackheart show up as the priest in Peter's dream and be like, "Yo, things are about to get really weird."
So
I really like Blackheart in the suit. He looks cool.
okay. Well, I'm just gonna say this. I think that Marvel is about to hit dead zone, so Quesada may see himself go away, and I do blame him for pretty much everything. I know some people blame Alonso and stuff. No. It was Quesada because Quesada started the circle. It's this whole entire idea. He secretly hides his hate. Like my dark theory, which everybody's gonna be like, "Nerd, stop huffing the paint," is that he secretly freaking hates women. So he went on a women killing spree, and to hide this, he virtue signaled to hide this like every other male proclaimed feminist does. And then
weird thing,
and he also specifically wanted only women in a weaker position than him, so he hired weakling women that would not be able to be promoted.
Okay, here's something really weird. Together with his wife again around 2011.
Yeah. What?
That's the weird thing.
He went back with his wife?
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Like, during 2011, he still hasn't fucking gone over the midlife crisis. And it is refusing to let Peter. I don't, right now, the motive, the initial idea of why he did it.
I read somewhere that the other reason he did it was because his mother died. So, from what I gather from my psychology years, it seems this man has an abandonment issue with women because traumatically, all these things happen around the same time that his mother and father died around the early 2000s. And his mother died, and that's why he specifically got rid of the marriage. And I don't really listen to the rest of it because I hate this man.
It's not his choice.
No, it isn't. But you want to know what? Since when was it anybody, like, since when did any of those writers they shouldn't be allowed to have the choice to do this or that in the books, and nobody cares because corporate's a corrupt monster. Like, that's what happens. And you want to know what? That's why I'm okay with Marvel burning, because when Marvel burns, the corporate burns, and then they'll rise up like a little phoenix. That's my objective.
Well, to be fair though, they turn bankruptcy into billions before they can recover from this. Definitely.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna laugh my way out when if he goes, everybody will rejoice. Like, so many fans would just laugh. Like, dude, I found out the Marvel Legacy cover was his, and I'm like, no wonder it looks crappy, generic. Sorry.
No, dude. I got really mad at him when Lynx told me about how the Clone Saga got affected by One More Day.
Well, the clones shouldn't have. The Clone Saga had to be affected, but he said there was no baby, and it's like, but there has to be a baby because that's all about Clone Saga.
You want to know what's the perceived reason? Apparently,
what?
An abortion.
The aborted?
Yeah, because she's not married to Peter. Apparently.
You know what he originally stated? You want to know what? He keeps hiding it. He keeps altering it because he just wanted to get rid of them. He didn't think about the consequences. In the beginning, everybody kept questioning about Clone Saga, and then he said they never conceived a kid because they used contraceptives. And it was like, no shit, they used contraceptives. This was an accident. They weren't planning on having the baby. And even people that are married still use contraceptive. Do you know contraception usually doesn't have, like, it's not 100% accurate. Like, you could still have a baby, which happens. So then he swapped it again and again and again and again. Because you want to know what? It just like, I was just talking about an issue earlier today about them in Brand New Day. Peter was raped. Peter was raped in Brand New Day. There's a girl named Michelle Gonzalez.
So is this the fucking...
And
is this the... Sorry, you go on.
And in that story, there's a girl named Michelle Gonzalez that shows up and stuff. Peter gets drunk at a party and he blacks out. Michelle Gonzalez then has her way with him.
Okay, so it's Peter.
So it was
is the story that they're trying to say that they can't write without.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. Don't interrupt. So he gets raped by this woman, right? Everybody thinks it's okay, except for the fans. The fans are like, you just let Peter Parker get raped. And so apparently it's kind of revealed that the creators don't understand men can get raped. So they had to backtrack and pretty much had to quickly make up something where it was like, oh, it was water. It was water, and Peter just was under the influence of the atmosphere. It's like, even if he's under the influence of the atmosphere and so forth, he's acting weird and probably a little bit out of his mind. Why I don't think he would also be consenting if he's out of if he's not all there. So I'm just saying, isn't it still kind of rape? Also, you're just lying about stuff.
My friend is asking if he can join in on this.
Who's your friend? If I don't know him, I'm not letting him in.
Links.
Links?
Yeah, he's the guy who helped me with the Spider-Man MJ relationship in my little plot line.
Where is he? Is he on the Discord? Like, I was trying to just use it as people I know.
I believe he DM'd you on Discord.
Oh, has he DM'd me yet? Oh, yeah, there he is.
There.
Yeah, I'll let him in. Okay, as long as I know him and stuff. Because I'm sorry, I just want to keep like.
We're gonna let in.
We're not having a 400 thing. I will murder all of you if you guys start spamming my chat again. That was a one-time thing, and never again.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So sorry.
It's okay. Oh no. All right. Well, I invited him. If anybody else wants to come on in, just let me know in the chat, and I'll do it sometimes. Hey, it's Quill Sniv. I actually have to do a video about Quill Sniv. Quill Sniv's in the chat right now. For anybody that does not know, Quill Sniv makes a really, really good fan fiction. I know fan fiction, but hear me out. He makes a really good Spider-Man fan fiction. They call it Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and he has re-edited most of the story, like Superior Spider-Man and beyond, to fit in a narrative where Spider-Man is married to Mary Jane and they have a daughter.
Funny story. That's kind of what I did with my dumb fan fiction.
Yeah, well, you got to read his. It's really good. I did a variant cover for, like, he makes covers for every issue of it. So when you read it, you get a nice cover of Spider-Man doing something really cool. He did like an awesome story about Venom. It was really good, and I'm all like, oh. He does it also in comic book form, so it's like really nice script. But yeah, I highly
to talk to this Quill Sniv.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now. He's cool. Quill is like really cool.
Quill, do you have a Discord or any way for me to contact you? Because I got something you might like to see.
He's got a YouTube channel. I know that.
Great.
We usually just go to click on his name thing. Click on the 3 dots by, you go to the section in the chat with his name on it, and he just did it. Oh, you want in, Quill? Like I would put you in, but you gotta like DM me or something on Twitter or something. Like Quill's really cool. I would love for him to come on and do a little talk about this. God.
Because like we did a big thing about like one of my favorite things when I look at the shite Spider-Man show and I was like, I could do it better. With a lot of weird shit. Guest stars included. The motive was like, I was asking around, like, we went with college age Peter when I found out that was the age he was in the 90s cartoon.
Oh damn, my Twitter DMs aren't open. Okay, hang on. Let me go and try and fix that. How do I open my Twitter DMs or whatever? Okay, profile. Yeah, that's right. Because I don't follow a lot of people. A lot of people follow me, but I don't follow you guys a lot. Because I'm a dick. I'm not regretting it.
At least you follow me and that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was having some minor technical difficulties with my audio.
No, that's cool. Man, you got a radio voice.
It again.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have an anime girl voice, so that's embarrassing.
So, how are you today? I hear that you. So, apparently, word on the street it says that you're a big Spidey MJ fan.
I am. I am very much a huge Spidey MJ fan.
Actually,
I grew up with those two.
Legitimately.
A very yeah, because their wedding happened the same year I was born.
Oh, really?
Yes, I am as old as the wedding. And I grew up on the 90s animated series. That was my first ever exposure to, you know, a superhero exposing his real identity to his love interest and them getting married. And that just completely blew my mind back in the day.
Yeah.
And one day I decided, you know what? I want to know who Gwen Stacy is because I read this thing on her. So I went back, I read all of the issues up to the infamous The Night Gwen Stacy Died. And then I saw that last page from The Death of the Green Goblin by Jerry Conway, just that final page where Mary Jane closes the door.
I love that part.
That is the single defining moment for Mary Jane. There is more character development in that one page than most comic book protagonists get in an entire writer's run.
I love that part. I was actually just looking at that picture a little moment ago. I was trying to explain to somebody like the importance of Mary Jane.
I had that comic, and well, suffice to say, it really, yeah.
You have the death of Gwen Stacy?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's like a really deep one.
When I was a kid, I had it when I was a kid, so it really affected my writing.
Oh shit, that's so cool.
Because I fucking loved Spider-Man when I was a kid, and like, I'm a bit teary-eyed right now over it because I didn't need to know too much about that relationship and how it eventually follows up to the relationship that's basically as famous as any like fucking Superman and Lois. When I read that, I kind of knew that one of the reasons why it's really hard for me to fucking find a date is because I'm just waiting for that one person that one girl with that wonderful personality who would say, "Is it Tiger?" You just hit the jackpot.
We'll all get there one day.
Yeah.
Well, you technically did. Someone
did?
No, it was just me fucking just saying, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Someone at least said that. That was the thing that happened. But yeah. Superman can be happy. Why can't Peter? Definitely. I'm a very emotional kind of person, very much so, but I always believe that like if you're gonna have your character go through this much fucking horrible shit, let them be happy in the end.
Yeah. Everybody, like, it is the most iconic thing and the most marketable romance. Like, this is so heavily desired. I only think at some points, I think Quesada only holds off because he wants the big motherlode boom. Like, it's their last trump card in case if shit dies. They will revive the marriage just to get 200,000 copies released. Like, I mean, that'd be genius.
But Lynx here is the mad genius who gave me this idea that I kind of love.
Wait, which idea?
You know the one. It involves the marriage.
Oh, yes, this idea. Oh, God. Should I, or do you want to just go whole hog with it?
You're the one with the idea. You first.
Okay, so the idea that we had here is, I mean, was this for the fix of the idea, or was this for, after the fact?
No, the fix is when like more people are around.
Okay, so the idea that we had, or that I had rather, was so restore the marriage, bring back little Mayday,
Yeah.
and give her a little sister named Annie. And as they grow up, you wind up with the spectacular Spider Sisters.
That would be so cute.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I've actually always imagined, because right now it's DC is pretty much revealing that there's like a huge abundance and heavy desire for young children superheroes. Like, you get into it, you get the Super Sons, you get like all this other stuff that they do excellent with this stuff, and yet sorry, I'm trying to look. I didn't receive a DM from you, Quillsniff, but hang on. But I always thought, wouldn't it be cute if we had like an Avengers Junior with some of the younger kids? And
yes.
I've always thought a really adorable thing, if you're going for super young, you could put Danny Cage and Mayday or Annie together in their own little duo pack.
Oh, like the Young Avengers.
Yeah, and then like Jerry Drew, and then you get like somebody else is gonna have kids later on, and so you get them into this, and they become Little Avengers Junior, which is like like you could just make a one-shot comic of them living like in a tree house, and apparently Danny's going to be future Captain America. So you make her into this big Captain America fangirl, you draw, like she has a little, like she's dressed up, like she markered all over her shirt like a star, like Steve Rogers. And she's like, let's go get the bad guys.
Oh, you mean the Misfits of Evil?
That sounds adorable.
Oh, this is going places.
Like, they would just... it'd be really cute, and then like meeting up with a power pack, like maybe a Nate Summers, a tiny one. I guess they could go hang with what's her name? Deadpool's daughter. He's got a daughter. I guess they could.
Deadpool has a daughter? When did that happen?
Like a while back, he has Ellie. Ellie has he banged a woman. And he didn't take off the mask, though, through it.
Because it's Deadpool.
Yeah, because it's Deadpool. She found out later he took off the mask to show her how ugly he was, because I think she didn't believe it, and she started throwing up. So,
sounds about right.
Yeah, so she did it, but also he just kind of like left immediately, and it was revealed that she got pregnant. And so, like, in fact, the birth certificate for Ellie is revealed to be like for the father, it says deadbeat dumbass. Or something like that. So Deadpool has a daughter. She's in witness protection with the woman that apparently possessed Deadpool for a while or whatever. That's part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like she's watched by him. I mean by her. And Ellie has no superpowers as of yet, but it's been revealed she has Deadpool's healing factor in a weird way, where she dies, she resurrects. Like, that's her ability, is to resurrect.
Oh, she has it's the immortal guy's power.
Immortal guy's power? I don't know who that is. I don't know anybody's power. I know Pikachu Squad.
Oh, Quillsiv gave
me friends on here.
Discord.
Yeah, I noticed. I had to find, like, how do I find a person on Discord? I don't know this joke. Wait, can I just do that? Is that how I do it? No, I don't know how you. How do I befriend people on stupid Discord? I don't know
Wait,
this.
actually, I can do it now. I'll do it.
What? Damn it. Okay, wait. I
There you
can't
go.
find him.
Well, you're in.
He's in?
Give him a moment. I'm sure he's still going through the process. There we go.
Oh, hey!
Hey,
Hello.
hey.
Hey!
Hey,
We
I was
see
typing up
you!
something.
Don't dox yourself. There's angry people. Dan Slott apparently now notices me.
Oh crap.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Just today, this morning, best way to open up on Valentine's Day. HP alerts me. Oh, Senpai notices you.
Oh god.
Like,
Oh
what?
no, Bruce's theme intensifies.
Senpai notices you. And then I'm like, what? And I go to my Twitter feed and he's yelling. He's talking about some crazy person that keeps seeing sexual assault into his comics. And I'm like, that's me.
Oh
He's
god.
talking about me.
I wouldn't know. I'm blocked from his Twitter.
I don't know. No, I'm
could-
blocked too. But we have people in the community
Oh.
on Twitter that grab that screenshots
Screenshots.
stuff,
Yes.
and they found out he's been talking. I'm like, I'm acknowledged as an asshole.
I haven't
Wait.
done anything to provoke him yet. So
Oh, you want to know
Give it
what?
time.
My theory, what provoked him, because I'm pretty sure I was blocked by him before I even went and started following people from Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was blocked by him because of Gamergate.
oh god.
Wait,
Makes sense.
wait. He what?
Well,
He
yeah,
blocked
there was that one point where he had an algorithm that blocked people who were associated with Gamergate, and a ton of his followers got blocked because they associated themselves with hashtag Gamergate. Even people in support.
Non-terrorists of the world who actually stop pedophiles.
Well, here's the thing. Even it was people who followed him and were politically aligned with what he agrees with. Like he was pro-Sarkeesian and pro Clinton, and he blocked them too. It was great because
This
it
is
provided a total shit show.
beautiful.
Algorithms do not discriminate.
I am so glad. That's actually what Facebook kind of showed. Facebook made an algorithm where they're like, we're gonna stop sexism, and everybody's like, hey, so like you would say women are scum and you get banned, but it was really funny because it seemed to be an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth kind of thing. Because then if you said men are scum, you get the same banning. Equality, bitches. Equality that I can approve of.
Equality? Wow, boy, howdy.
I didn't even know that could actually exist, but apparently it does on this crap. Hurrah!
This damn rock. This rock needs to be nuked by itself. You have the firepower to do it.
By the way, dude, you're doing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Thank God I didn't went with that title.
Oh.
Yeah,
would have fought. I would have fought you on the side of the street for that title name. Or
Yeah.
I would have just relaunched it. I mean, that's what Marvel does anyways, so.
yeah, they do. But I really,
That's true.
I love what you're doing though. I love that book. Like I can't say enough about it. Like I'll have
You're
to
gonna call it all
I
new,
want to
all
do
different.
yeah, I want to do a whole entire like I don't know, like a YouTube video just talking about it because this is a really good one. And like you put covers on every issue of it, and like this guy will tease it out for us a few days before he went on like 3 months break, and so we were screaming when he announced it's coming back.
No, here's the thing. It's that was an in-universe time skip too. I even made note of it 3 months later in number 17.
That's right, you did.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Like can you not? This is a really fun story series. Like just
give me a link.
I will.
I've been meaning to read something good.
I don't know if it's on fanfiction.net, but I know it's on AO30, so you have to get through all the Spidey porn.
Oh god, Well, I couldn't. I couldn't put it on
fanfiction.net.
fanfiction.net because there's something against their community guidelines. When Muhammad and I were first making the series, we were like, okay, so where should we dump this thing? And we're like, okay, so fanfiction.net doesn't work, even though I have an account for that. I'll just go to AO3. And then Crawlspace, the site I write for, they were very generous and let me host the scripts on there.
What was it? Oh, is it because it was in a script format?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they'll kick it off if it's script format. I forgot.
Okay.
They hate the script format. I actually managed to get away, but then I kept getting warned about it when I was a kid in high school. I made like a joke fan fiction, and people thought it was funny, but it was in script format, and I kept getting warned it's in script format and you'll get banned, so I had to delete it. I feel bad that I deleted it because then I lost the files that I had.
Oh no!
It was a stupid fanfic. Nobody probably cares about it today. And then like in the distance, you hear one person go, "I care," but no, nobody really.
40 years later, someone's like digging through the archives and you're like, "Oh man, what's this? Nerd by Nerd Wonder? Whoa!"
Dude, that's totally radical.
Yeah, I have a feeling that in 20 years or so, we'll experience a counterculture where the 80s are suddenly cool again.
Oh god.
It's kind of happening right now.
No, and then in and the 2020s will be the 90s counterculture where the 90s are suddenly cool again. The Clone Saga is revealed to be a masterpiece of artistic.
No. Wait, no. I don't want Spider Side to be up there with the Joker.
No, you gotta deal with, you don't get Spider Side, you get fucking Doppelganger.
Ooh, I'm okay with
The
this.
Doppelganger is fucking awesome.
Then again, I'm the
he
person,
was in Infinity War.
then again, I'm the person who said, you know what, I like Silk. Shoot me.
Oh my god.
Okay, shotgun or trank?
I have issues with her mostly because I have seen it's mostly I'm like look at her and people are like, but she's really good outside of like in her own solo series away from Slot, and I'm like, listen, she could be, but that origin still ruins her.
She's a Mary Sue.
I will not argue that. Wait, okay. I will not argue that Silk had a shitty origin story. That was getting bitten by the same spider as Spider-Man, only for it to be consumed by the 1,000 later. That's some serious BS.
Yeah.
But then once they did retcon away the pheromones in the Thompson run, so I'll give them that. That's all I'll give them. Congratulations for getting rid of the rape pheromones. How proud you must be.
Okay.
Because I was like complaining about that earlier. I was like, Dan, you write sexual assault in your books. And he's like, I do not. And I'm like, dude. And then I put out a picture of the Spider Queen trying to make love to Peter with pheromones and him trying to snap out of it. And then
wait, isn't pheromones like fucking Spider-Woman's thing?
Well, no, but this is but it's more of like a primal thing that causes them to like have to mate, like whenever they get within about 2 feet of each other.
Yeah, she'll start like her pheromones make him want to have sex with her, and the same thing with her. But like to that extent, he has no consent over it. It's pretty much it's like you want to know who else has done shit like that? Oh, let's think here. The Purple Man.
Mandrill.
The Mockingbird story with the Phantom Rider with the love potion. Oh, that's another one.
Didn't they retcon that Bobby actively cheated on Clint?
Well, here's the thing about that. She said that in there, but here it makes it worse because they never fully explain. Because I saw the pages of this. She says Clint understands that I would never go against something, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, so you just randomly cheated on your husband. You murdered a man in cold blood for no reason. And then you accused him of rape.
Yeah, that is. I do think that it also helps that Bobby was a very unreliable narrator, and they actively admit that out of the story.
Yeah, you want to know what they could have done instead? She didn't need to have been raped. Like, I'm like, you could have retconned the rape and done it better. Where it's like, the love potion was intoxicating her, and that's why he needed to give her the antidote, and she sobered up and ran after they had sex. Instead, just say that the poison worked too fast, and it intoxicated her before he could even get it on with her. He cures her. She wakes up, but she doesn't know if he's done anything with her, and so she murders him in rage. And then they get back, and she's not the same anymore because she's killed a man. And number one, the Avengers don't also accept killing, no matter but they find out the circumstances, and they decide they're going to do a vote on to get rid of her or not. And they vote her to stay on, like it's whatever. But it's learned that Clint actually voted against her, and that's why they divorced.
No, you know what actually really reminds me of sexual assault? Yeah. Avengers number 200.
Oh my god,
Miss Marvel.
Oh god.
Well, that was a thing.
Immortus, I mean, it's implied that she did consent at some point, but it's implied that he he had to coerce her into giving in, and it's kind of
it was mind whatever in issue 200, and then I think Likara did a review on that.
He did, yes.
Later on, somebody at least acknowledged it was dumb, and then rewrote her back in and revealed, yeah, you fucking let her run off with the guy that was mind controlling her and trying to rape her. You people are terrible. And I'm like, thank you, mysterious writer.
I think it was Chris Claremont for Avenger for an X-Men book. It was an X-Men annual.
Mm-hmm. What about Claremont?
The writer that is so mysterious. I think
Claremont is like, I was talking to someone because I'll reveal this in like a press release later or something. But Claremont was like a fucking fetishist.
Hello.
He's very well known for like his sexual fantasies.
Does he put them in the books?
Yeah, it's not really projecting, but it's very well documented in some place. I know that
author appeal.
I know that the co-boards have mentioned this time and again, and though I know 4chan is not like the best place to find information, they've been pretty reliant in recent years. So it doesn't surprise me that Claremont would put his own. I mean, Slott does it, so it's...
Yeah, he does. I was about to say, like, he's doing it more subtle than Slott does, because Slott, it's obvious.
Slott likes midgets, what?
Slott likes hentai, and a little bit too much of it.
What about those tentacles, huh? Doc Ock is his
forcing upon a woman in such a way, and the beating them up, and then having sex with them, it's a very... heavy tropes within hentai that I've seen. Like, I played a few visual novel games in my time, so I'm watching this, and I'm like, yeah, Slott.
I remember
what's going on. You are not subtle.
I remember back when Superior Number 2 released, and they had and Otto was pretty much jerking it to memories of Peter and MJ.
Yeah,
I remember Slott defending this.
Yeah, because he's.
I have several questions.
Yeah. Nobody needs to know about that. Okay, yeah, it was super gross. But yeah, he I think that he brought a sock puppet on one of the accounts. I think it was once again Fat Panther. He really doesn't like Fat Panther.
For a second, I thought you said a sock puppet.
And I was thinking that like Doc Ock was rubbing his little Jimmy with like a sock puppet.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I gotta throw my Swedish fish now. God damn.
That's just what it sounded like when you said it. I thought you were still talking about Doc Ock.
Anyway, so
yeah,
he brought I think it was a sock puppet, and I suddenly snap. And I start because it's saying something about how Brand New Day is awesome and stuff. And I just flip a table because that's like a trigger word, I guess, for me. And I start screaming at him. I'm like, dude, it's like a huge fetishizing of rape throughout this and sexual assault. And he goes, that has never happened in the books. I'm like, dude, he masturbated to MJ memories while Peter watched in horror.
Well, no, it's okay now because Peter's a ghost.
Yeah. So Peter is forced to watch a man masturbate to his own fond memories of this woman that he's planning on trying to have his way with. So
sorry.
No, it's also implied to be rape.
Yeah, and then it comes back later because as far as Anna Maria is concerned, in Superior number 22, Peter is Peter, not Otto. And then in number 22, like just before Peter or Otto goes to confront Agent Venom, it's implied that he has sex with Anna on the floor of their lab.
Yep. And let's not forget the whole entire thing with Aunt May memories of her having sex.
In like what was it, $7.99 or
yeah, $7.99 or $2.99 or whatever. I had friends that actually helped me grab that one because I was getting the wrong numbers for those, and I was trying to hunt. I'm hunting those down for a video, just talking about that One More Day was the beginning of a rape fetish that just escalated because it wasn't only Slot, it was everyone. It was like Spider-Man was allowed to now have rape and assault in there. I don't know why they fucking hate the ladies, but they do.
Wait, wait, no, they had it before with Black Cat's origin story.
Yeah, that was but it was
Evil the Men Do. No one,
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
no one. What did they? One Evil the Men Do is now canon, right? Because I remember someone trying to retcon it away.
Yeah. I can't blame them for trying to retcon it away, but let's face it, the people that are heads in there, they like their women being complacent. I just like being a dick on purpose. I just want to go and get the feminists to come.
I like my women to be like MJ, who take charge.
No, take it from someone who's in uni right now. That I'm in the middle of a very liberal city. Yeah. So it's like I have to watch myself whenever I go out and start talking because otherwise,
someone's here.
Yep, it should be. I think Samurai Raccoon.
No, that's Daredevil.
Nope.
Gotta get back to the past, Samurai Jack. Whatcha?
It's Devil, Matt Murdock. He's gone.
You're my favorite lawyer.
Samurai Jack. Whatcha?
Oh, okay. Wait, how do you watch that? You're blind.
He can listen.
No, wait. I think I think it feedbacked what I was saying.
Yeah, that's an echo. Yeah.
It is.
So what did I miss?
You missed us talking about.
Well, we got Raccoon. We got a large cast. So what we got here is you, Johnny Boy, who is an awesome, knowledgeable source of everything, also known as the Alchemist. He a knowledgeable source of everything Spider and MJ related. His pal Edgar, who is all knowledgeable as well and has a radio host voice. Quill Sniv, one of the masters of making an epic fan fiction that is just like going on currently. That's about Spider Family, and then we got Samurai Raccoon in here. Who writes a really good comic.
Yeah, I still gotta start putting I should probably slowly start rolling mine out to the public for you all to see.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're coming in clean.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yes, can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
I can
hear you.
You can hear.
Oh my god, it's so looping.
I do apologize for the quality of my microphone. My reception is not very good.
All right.
No, it's
not
fine.
the quality of your mic. It's the fact that we're hearing the stream looping again through your speakers.
That's
He's muted.
Do you have the YouTube video up?
Oh, wait.
It sounds like you have the YouTube video up, but you kept the sound on.
No,
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's what I was gonna say.
Just mute it. You're fine though.
I changed the settings, so that should help.
Okay, that's good. That's wonderful.
But yeah, the reception. My reception. I've heard myself on previous live streams. My reception is not very good, so I do apologize in advance if I cut out at random.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
We deal with it all the time. Full entire party in here. We got like 36 people watching. Apparently, I'm cool enough to have that many people. I feel special.
Yay!
But, yeah, so
Your sidekick's here too.
God, I love like this is just
Actually, I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Marvel in the chat. One of our community's artists. He actually drew my the cover for Charger, which is
I'm gonna try.
producing.
is he in there? He is in there. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Close that.
I love Mr. Marvel. If he wants in, he is allowed in. But we shouldn't have too many people in. There's a lot
I got
of.
a lot of people here right now.
I know, but everybody's so cool. I couldn't say no, and that's when I usually get yelled at by Weapon. He's like, "You need to say no to people." I was like, "I'm gonna let everybody in the chat." He goes, "That's terrible."
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
apparently you let too many people in, it jacks up the.
Oh yeah, I was
Nerd. Do you know the way?
I was invited in for the Crawl Space Slots Out podcast, and everyone was trying to get in at once, and it just completely jacked up the feed. It was amazing.
Anyone who said, "Do you know the way?" I will find you and I will kill you.
Wait, who said it? I'm gonna go shoot them.
No, it's my hunt.
I love.
I guess I'll be your rifle caddy.
Okay.
I will gotta say, I love this community that we're in, where we get together and we like stuff, and we can just talk about our love of
Okay.
things.
So,
Talk about best ship ever without Casada saying, "No, your ship is dumb," even though 98. Okay, here's the thing. A few years back, just before Renew Your Vows was released, there was a reveal that there was something that sounded like they were gonna undo One More Day again.
Mm-hmm.
So CBR put up a vote system on their website that was, should One More Day end? It was 89.7% said yes.
That's good. I
think it was over 10,000 people voted on that.
I'm willing to bet that the people who voted no were probably either Marvel shills or they were hires.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually said this. I didn't go that far actually, because Charles Soule and Marvel editors are getting away with this. Even they're dissing One More Day. I mean, I actually linked to this during Charles Soule's Daredevil when he had to explain, well, how did everyone forget he was Daredevil? Well, they actually, Damon Hellstrom goes to Matt and goes, Mephisto does this like all the time. And then Daredevil looks at them, walks out and goes, I'm not that desperate.
Yeah. And then there was that guy that everybody hates. Was it Aubrey Sitterson? That when he was getting kicked off of Spider-Man, they literally wrote in the ending of the book that they said, we hate this guy. And you want to know what? He's responsible for One More Day. Not Quesada. It was him.
Okay.
Oh, Aubrey Sitterson. I got a bone to pick with this little shit.
Actually,
I think we all do.
Wait, on the topic of One More Day, can we talk about our little ways to rectify it?
Well, we will later, but I would like everybody to have their own say in other stuff, because we could be here all day if we rectify it and stuff with our own fanfic theories, which I will have to do another video or live stream about, because this is
Happily.
just
I join that happily. In fact, actually, I actually am. Most people don't know this, but I'm actually a forum role player on a Marvel subforum where you role play on characters, and I actually do Spider-Man. And in that timeline, Peter and Mary Jane are still married. And oh wow, it just you just see the threads and how it goes. Yeah, it's kind of insane how much people hate One More Day.
Oh my god, I must know of this place. Show me the way.
Don't say no one in the chat say you know it.
Calm down, everyone.
You can I'll actually link this to in your Twitter, nerd, so that way it's not clogging up the chat.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fine. I mean,
Send it over my way, Matt. I need to know how Daredevil writes Spider-Man.
Also,
I actually play Daredevil on there as well, just for fun, and I've actually gotten to stretch my muscles, so to speak, over there. That's actually where I came up with the idea. Actually, Nerd and I talked. I guys did this on a stream with Eglantine. That's actually where I came up with the idea of Daredevil's brother, Crossout. This was the same forum that I wrote it on. So it was kind of. It's a very nice place. It's a decent community, and I actually dug it. But we're not here to talk about role play. We're here to talk about Nerd's passion, which is Peter and Mary Jane. And
Not just her. It's
Well, it's all
We
of us.
all
Everybody.
share this passion.
I think it's everybody in the chat and everybody that's in the live stream right now. Some people in the chat as well. I bet they ship a different version. Like, I know that some people are like, I'm an old schooler. I like Gwen. I know Spike says, sorry, I'm classy. I like my Gwen. Can't blame him for that. I do think we still need to kick Casada's ass, at least for you, to honor that she was turned in what he turned her into during Sin's past. I mean,
Did you know?
We only retcon it if one more day gets retconned. Both have to be retconned at the same time.
Like, actually, I think one of my favorite Spider-Man stories, it's because of the book endings. The book endings take place when Peter and Mary Jane are married, and it's Spider-Man. It's Jeff Loeb's Spider-Man Blue. I mean, it's Gwen, and it's clearly a Peter Gwen story, but the book endings are about Peter and Mary Jane. And you look at it and you go, yeah, it is. And then I love the scene where, like, you know, it really just kind of showed that he's pouring tape recorders to Gwen about how he fell in love with her and what she meant to him. And then you see Mary Jane walk in and go, Peter, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm sorry, I should finish up here. No, it's okay. I miss her too. Just tell her you said hi for me. And then he talks about Mary Jane, and you realize Mary Jane is his soul, effectively. When his heart was completely shattered into a zillion pieces, courtesy of the Green Goblin, he was lifeless. I mean, you saw, like, turning point the night when Stacy died. That was, a lot of people back then argued that was the start of the Bronze Age of comics, the night when Stacy died.
Yeah.
And piece by piece, issue by issue, Mary Jane put him back together. I can't really live without her. And that was, I thought, culminated in the original, not the 90s one, the original Clone Saga. When it dawned on him, no, I love Mary Jane. I'm not in love with Gwen anymore.
Yeah, what happened there was immediately after a very mind-messy episode with, or issue with Mysterio. Peter looks out the window and he thinks he sees Gwen, and he's like, this has to be Mysterio still screwing with me. So he runs downstairs and grabs this woman he sees, and lo and behold, it actually is Gwen, much to his complete confusion.
Oh, that one.
And hers as well, because she recognizes him. And he brings her to his friends, and everybody's just shocked. Gwen, what the hell? You're still alive.
Well,
I like that story. Like, that's the Clone Saga story, right? The original.
Clone Saga,
yeah. That was the original Clone Saga. Yes.
Like just after.
He also can't stand. Like, he feels like he's obligated to stay with her, and NJ is like willingly letting her go. I mean, letting him go to her, even though it's revealed at this point that she doesn't want this, and he also is hesitant. He doesn't want to be with her anymore. And in the end, Gwen, even like the Gwen clone pretty much states at the end, it's like, listen, you've moved on with your life, and I guess I should do.
It had been over a year.
Dude, they weren't even going to be dating by the end of it. Let's face it. They were constantly fighting. She couldn't stand Spider-Man. She was utterly disgusted by Spider-Man. He even confessed to being Spider-Man a few times to her, and she went on a rampage. There was no way he could be Spider-Man and be with her.
And that's funny because I actually, Nerd, I sent you most of a copy of Spider-Man Parallel Lives, and where it has Mary Jane. And Mary Jane knew from the night Uncle Ben died.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, you've gotten a chance to read it, right, or most of it?
I have it complete. If anybody
I'm like,
I tweeted about it.
Yeah, it's a.
I gave that Nerd a digital copy of Parallel Lives, which is actually in this trade paperback. It's like a small trade paperback of Spider-Man and Mary Jane. It's kind of like their greatest hits, if you will. Although it doesn't include the wedding issue, which is really weird.
You can actually get that though in the Compendium of Craven's Last Hunt, whatever they call it, the large booklet of
the omnibus,
the omnibus, because specifically it is pretty much labeled into there, which is true. It has such crucial holdings into that Craven's Last Hunt. There is no way to keep, like, you have to have it with both. And
then
that's
the novelization of Craven's Last Hunt utter fucking butchered it.
Well, let's face it, they tried to retcon it in there, but I'm like, we wouldn't have had it. We wouldn't have had this story. We wouldn't have had Craven's Last Hunt if he wasn't married, because that was the main reason it was chosen.
Yep.
that story because Spider-Man was just married and he knew that this was the most crucial moment. J.M. DeMatteis is a genius, and how dare you try and desecrate everything he did by saying it was Uncle Ben that helped him drag out of there, or Craven's now a joke character again. Wow, that's really nice of you.
I have, as much as I am probably behind Douglas Ernst, I am probably the most anti-Dan Slott person you're ever going to meet, period. And I'm saying that, I will say that with no shame at all. Because that son of a bitch tried to get me thrown out of a convention and even tried to call me out with his little Octobot con security at a panel. This is actually a thing. And no, seriously, I called him out crap during Superior Spider-Man when Doug was starting his blog. And he tried to bait me at a con in the YouTube comment saying, I'm right here at this panel starting in 5 minutes. Come find me, jackass. He knew what I looked like because this was back in the days when I was young and stupid and showed my face on the internet. So he knew what I looked like.
And I thought, wow, and I thought
he knew what I looked like, so he friggin' tracked me. And he actually sat there for almost 3 minutes, just literally looking for me in the friggin', and then he friggin' comments after, yeah, where were you? Wasn't at the panel. Like, yeah, I saw the footage. You had security right there, you fucking dumbass. You really think I want to waste my weekend hanging out with my friends and having a good time to call your dumb fuckery out? And then get thrown out of a convention? Even though I could literally have you and the entire con security sued for that? It's like, yeah, that would just be stress on my family, stress on me, and stress on everything else. Go fuck yourself, man.
Oh my god, that is so amazing. He really tried to eat your face off. Oh my gosh, that's Douglas Ernst rage because he gets so
like,
up and
that's rage.
Oh,
no,
Doug
that's like,
let's be honest,
right
Doug would not curse. Doug would not curse up a storm.
No, Douglas was so chill. He's like, I'm just gonna write on this blog, telling people that this comic sucks.
Yeah, well, remember, this was back before Comicsgate was even the glimmer in our eyes. This guy, literally, he was ragging on Superior Spider-Man when Superior Spider-Man was a thing, and that's he was one of the reasons I was galvanized against this. And I was reading it, and I went, "This is the same dumbass who wrote Spider Island." Oh my god! And Doug says, and friggin' Dan says amazing things like friggin', oh, to me, Spider-Man and Mary Jane are so anti-Marvel. It's fucking terrible. And yes,
no, it is.
I'm going halfway between gay and Jewish.
It is actually anti-Marvel because Quesada is Marvel.
Yes, basically
because Marvel hates happiness.
No,
Marvel
it's because hold on.
Happy and good. That's why all relationships must die and be destroyed, and the characters must be.
Not everyone is Daredevil nerd.
I hate to say this, I do, because I wear the goddamn, so to speak. But I really genuinely believe that this anti-Marvel stance, the Joe Quesadas, the Dan Slotts, and all that, they read too much Frank Miller Daredevil in the 80s. I think they read a little too much into it.
No, I agree with you because that's what it screams. And it's fine in little dosages. They keep, DC brought back Frank Miller. Even though he's so controversial, he does do good jobs. And they're like, Frank, we're going to let you finish your Dark Knight run. And
they didn't even really let him do that.
Okay, I'm going to be honest.
They gave him a leash. They put a leash on him.
You have to put him on a leash. You can't let him run free because
Dark Knight 2 is a dumpster fire. It was honestly, if Dark Knight 2 was written in circa 2015, we would be shitting on Frank Miller too. Let's be honest.
You have
to read the book. It is pure political garbage.
But I heard Dark Knight 3 is really good, though. I heard Dark Knight 3.
Dark Knight 3 is pretty good, but Dark Knight 2 is bad. Oh, God.
Dark Knight 2 was
Dark Knight was trash.
Wait, guys. Guys.
Yeah, you think...
We're supposed to be talking about Spider-Man.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Spider-Man to Dark Knight. How do we get from Spider-Man to the Dark Knight?
Because he wants to be Frank Miller.
I was wondering if I was being heard.
We love you.
Okay, sorry. Shit.
I genuinely believe, I firmly believe that they all read way too much Frank Miller Daredevil growing up. I mean, look at the people who became executives at Marvel. Look at all of them. Joe Quesada is one. Brian Michael Bendis before he went to DC. And he's got Superman. And that's a whole rage rant for another time.
Okay, coming from a guy.
Brian Michael Bendis. friggin' Joe Quesada, God, damn. Even Dan Slott when he was working on the time, like they were all growing up right around that just the right time when Burns' X-Men and friggin' Frank Miller's Daredevil were the two biggest things in Marvel. Period.
Right.
Like I hate this. Like even better, Spider-Man was still Spider-Man. He's always been that the cash cow. But when it came to really steering the direction of the company, those were the books you read.
Yeah.
So and these people, like, they basically think everything had to be drugs, sex, and friggin' everything had to be pushed to the extreme, man. Like in the goddamn late 90s when everything was Beavis and Butthead and Attitude Era WWF.
Yeah,
like
the Max.
Well, I don't remember the time when Vince McMahon revealed himself to be the one behind the Clone Saga.
No, but he had friggin' Mark Henry and friggin' Mae Young give birth to a hand.
Well, there's no one person to really blame for the Clone Saga.
It was 70.
Actually, there is. It's but it's. Oh no, it's not the higher ups.
That was like, hang on. Dark didn't know what the right was doing.
Let him talk.
It's the marketing department at Marvel in the 90s.
Right, that is. He's right, because they went bankrupt and then they decided they were going to get rid of the editor and swap it with the marketing department. And the marketing department didn't read the comics; they just guessed.
Speculator. It was because basically they saw Scarlet Spider, all these toys, all this marketing that we can make. And actually, marketing department, because of the bankruptcy. Remember, this is back when not just Aviarad, but Perlmutter and Toy Biz bought Marvel. This is like back when, they were friggin', trying to make everything as toyetic as possible. This was actually back when the phrase toyetic became even a word to begin with. Like,
that is kind of the slot run, like the all new, all different slot run. It was basically just buy our toys.
Yep, because he knew he'd get royalties out of it, and royalty checks are still a big thing. And he's a contracted Marvel employee, so it would make sense he would want to try to snag as many royalties as he could. Why do you think he tried to stick his fat ass into just about every piece of Spider-Man media there was?
Well, no. Here's the thing: is that everyone at Marvel kind of wants royalties. That's the problem. Is that they don't really care about the characters they're writing. They want a paycheck instead. Yeah, that's why Bendis, instead of using Lila Rhodes as the new Iron Woman, instead created Riri Williams, because he knew if she ever made sense. Which if she ever appears in anything that he doesn't write, he still gets a royalty check.
Right.
Yep. Even though he's no longer working for Marvel, when Jessica Jones season 2 drops, he's gonna get a royalty check for that.
Yeah.
Like that's coming in the mail. That's a fact.
Okay. If I were in issues, I probably would do the same thing.
Oh, did Nerd just...
someone dropped. I think someone dropped.
I think
Nerd just left.
Nerd.
Oh shit.
Nerd?
Yeah, I think the Nerd just dropped off.
Nerd could have committed suicide.
Oh.
Actually back. Like,
Nerd is final warning on Discord, right?
Yes.
I actually have to get on your Discord now that I think about it.
Hang on, I gotta open my Discord back up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna message her and see if she dropped. Hang on.
Yeah, I'll check Twitter as well. I have a feeling that it would probably, because she was complaining on Twitter earlier about an internet crap out, so it could probably just be an internet crap out.
Yeah. I mean,
we should also probably start.
But then again, I'm working. But then again, I'm using a laptop.
She just went dark. So I think there was an internet problem.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. So in the meantime, I guess we'll just respond to comments and questions on the chat just to kill time.
Yeah. Also,
hang on. I gotta put. If we're gonna do that, I actually have to.
Okay.
Hang on. Can anyone hear me?
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna say.
I can hear you.
I am not an Humberto Ramos fan in terms of his art. I don't know the person's character. I don't know his politics. I don't care. And I haven't really had reason to go after him on social media because I haven't freaking seen anything he's done.
I've heard he's a nice guy. I've heard he's a nice guy.
Yeah, so it's like, honestly, I don't have anything personal against him. However, as an artist, his angular pseudo cartoon, what the fuckery? Like everyone's got Mr. Fantastic's stretchy arms. Like,
wait.
So between his,
I just wanted to say if anyone could hear me because like,
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you're coming in clean.
Okay, good. Everyone was talking over me.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, can we also remember that this is about Peter and MJ and not
MJ?
Oh yeah, but Umberto Ramos is still a Spider-Man artist, so I guess it's still within the relative ballpark.
I do think that Slots had some better artists than Ramos. I like Ramos. I grew up with Ramos, so I guess I kind of like him out of nostalgia.
Okay.
But he definitely has one of the more infamous artistic styles of any Marvel artist I've ever seen. Slot had a lot better talent on his plate. Like he had freaking Caselli on there. He had freaking Caselli on his rotating art team, and he only used them.
I would honestly, he had Oliver Copiel. He had Copiel on there. It's like, dude.
Well, he only used him for Spider-Verse. Caselli had a much.
Yeah, it's like, I think that was a waste considering I remember there was a period when they were releasing 3 Spider-Man titles, like Amazing Spider-Man titles a month, and they were rotating writers because there just was so much of them. And Copiel was actually, I think, on one of the staff at the time, and he was teamed up with Mark.
Excuse me, Mr. E, in the chat. I just want to tell you something.
Yes.
I want those fuckers that you just listed, Slot, Spencer, and Wade, all of them, all 3.
Oh, Nerd's back.
The 3 stages of hell.
Back, right?
Yeah, sorry, the internet died again.
Yeah, I called it. Yeah,
don't worry, we kept your viewership company.
Oh, awesome! Oh, look, you got more viewers than even when I was on.
But okay,
but you see, we were just complaining about artists. That usually help.
Nick Spencer,
yeah, we went on this rabbit trail.
Mark Wade's head, shoved him up Slot's ass, and then throw them off a cliff. But that's
Okay, hang on.
You were so good.
Wow.
I love them.
I don't like Slot any more than anybody else here, but I would not wish death upon him.
No, that would be
I just want to take him to
hell.
hell. No, I just wanted to take him to hell. It's like a wrestling match, you know?
I'm going to hell.
I'm still alive.
Yeah,
I'm going to take him. I'm going to go to hell. I guess I'll take him with me.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
As glad as I am that Slots going to be off the Spider-Man.
Talking over each other, please.
Guys,
I'll be back in
let's
like 10
not
minutes.
talk over each other. But I am really happy that everybody's here and they're having a good time. And she's like a lot of viewers that are like, "Hey, this is awesome."
I'm having
Dash,
a
I would
fantastic
have to
time,
agree.
but I need to go for a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be
Dash, I
back
would agree
somehow.
with that. And
We'll keep it.
MC2. It's like,
Wait. Honor
Slot,
me.
that was pure, like what Slot did to the MC2 was pure character assassination. Like pure character assassination.
Yeah, you won't find any argument from me. I just
Like,
prefer.
he actually wrote a storyline called in his original run during Brand New Day called Character Assassination. The irony is that he literally spent the next 10 years doing nothing but character assassination.
Yeah, because everybody's insane, and I don't know, nobody should like him.
Also,
Right.
Ultimate Spider-Man did a better Spider-Verse. Just saying.
No, you want to know who else did a better Spider-Verse? I mean, he did this before. It was discovered later.
Shattered Dimensions.
Before in Sonic.
Yeah.
He wrote that Sonic
Adventure.
Universe story that like my friends were into it when we were little kids, and we were like, let's write our own cool comics. Yeah, because we like reading Sonic. Because we were children. And we're radical. We want big cool animal comics.
Yeah.
Sonic.
But he even did Shattered Dimensions, which was not
Another
even.
Spider-Verse story.
Yeah, it was a really good one too. And
Not only that, but
really-
Mysterio, my boy, got a main event push. He was the final boss.
Oh, you want to talk about Mysterio, my man?
Yeah,
Now you're
he's my
dominant.
boy.
I love Mysterio, but also Spike wrote a bunch of parts in Spider-Verse from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote bits in there, and that's
Although I have to I think I said this before, and I've actually put Nerd into a rage for this, but I do make laugh that he calls Peter and Mary Jane anti-Marvel, but he's got no problem creating a Mary Sue rapist.
Yeah, I know, right?
It required 20 writers to un-Mary Sue them, but that still didn't get rid of the rapey part.
nope.
Wait, I don't think he created the rapist. He more just
No, he
either
created
assassinated. He
He
either
created Silk.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
They were trying to make another diverse character. Ike has actually talked about this. He knew he was there when they were trying to make her. And it's so dumb. It's like you're destroying the character that is Spider-Man by making 5 billion Spider-Man. It will be so boring. He will literally be...
No, Silk.
Mysterio's always cool. I don't care what anybody says. Mysterio,
honestly, I personally think Mysterio's finest hour was Guardian Devil. That was his finest hour.
You know who I want to get a spotlight, a villain spotlight? Frickin' Spot. He has like one of the most interesting power sets out of all Spider-Man's rogues, but no one ever uses him because they don't know how to use him.
No, they did in the 90s cartoon.
Well, yeah, but that's not. But I mean, in the comics, he doesn't. He usually gets the shaft when it comes to being.
I know. He's like
so does Shocker and Rhino, and they're kind of like iconic villains of Spider-Man.
Wait, I remember the 90s cartoon. I remember the 90s cartoon. Shocker was actually a threat.
Guys, can I just say this about the Rhino? Thanos had the Rhino in his villain team.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
That's the weirdest thing.
I mean, I will not deny that I have shit on Shocker multiple times. I wrote him in Friendly Neighborhood as a joke villain who plays Pokemon Go in the middle of a heist. But
why can't you just use the looter? He's right there.
I think Bendis when he did Ultimate Shocker, like Ultimate Shocker was a joke. He was a punchline until like one issue when he actually strung Peter up in a friggin' warehouse and nearly killed him. And it was really creepy.
Yeah.
That's like
that's actually what the Spider-Vine's talking about.
I think Ultimate Shocker is the reason that a lot of people have that reputation. But in the 90s, he was a threat. Like when he blasted friggin' Spider-Man, it was like crack, there goes through the wall. Shit! And that was kind of the thing.
Nerd was going to say something, Matt.
Let Nerd talk.
I was just saying that's what the Spider-Vines have always said. Like, Spider-Man went big into that. They were all like, the Shocker used to be cool, man. And then Bendis had to write him as a joke character in Ultimate. And then everybody had to write him as a joke character after that. And I don't know why. I'm like,
I mean, even in Superior Foes, where Shocker pretty much comes out winning at the end, everyone treats him like a C-lister. Okay. And to be fair, at that point, he kind of was a C-lister, and Spencer had to make do with what came before him. But Shocker just gets undeniably crapped on.
Oh yeah, honestly, I actually don't think
Speaking of Superior, who's the rabbit chick?
Has anyone played Spider-Man?
Wait, what did you say, Samurai?
Well, we're on the subject of Superior. Who was the rabbit lady that Spider-Man was fighting in the beginning?
White Rabbit?
Yeah.
Oh, she's in my thing.
You mean White Rabbit?
Yeah.
I guess that's her name.
She's like a real D-lister. She appears every so often, but doesn't really do anything.
I was reading this and I'm like, who is this rabbit lady?
She's essentially just there for fan service.
I only have one issue featuring White Rabbit, and it was a Marvel team-up issue of Spider-Man and Frogman, which is like this bumbling moron who managed to get his hands on Leapfrog's costume. He's bouncing around.
No, I mean, he became competent later. He took the spotlight in a Spider Island, tie-in, and he was in the initiative. He was in the initiative during.
Yeah, but also, that was also her debut, by the way.
Yeah, and I think I have that issue. I have that one issue of White Rabbit, and that's it.
Because they owned the first issue of Spider-Man issue 1 because people were telling me, and this was alerted all over, that Renew Your Vows came on out, and if Secret Wars went a certain way, it looks like that it would become canon, because it was hinting that a lot of these would become canon, and especially the popular ones would become canon. So everybody jumped on board thinking Renew Your Vows was going to be canon, but in fact, that was a lie, and I got really pissed off. It's like, you tricked me.
Classic bait switch. It was a bait switch, and friggin' Dan Slott is just famous for that. He's famous for, got you, will you rage now?
What?
I have the sales numbers for Renew Your Vows. I think at one point they overtook the main Secret Wars title, because it was so popular and people wanted the marriage to be canon. But it was one of the highest selling Secret Wars spin-offs.
It's not creative enough, and we need to tell more stories about Peter on a couch.
You want to know
Yeah.
what's so great about Peter being a dad?
Why don't they just give Peter
Guys,
a teddy bear while they're
let nerd talk.
I just want to say, like, you could write some of the cutest little stories of him being a dad. Because, like, okay, we had him as young adult Peter with young married Peter. Now you could have young dad Peter that doesn't know how to raise a kid and now has a kid. And like, I thought you could do a whole entire joke where he doesn't need a baby monitor because whenever it cries, his spider sense goes off. So he can't ever go to sleep.
That would be great.
And so he one time thinks about, he's like, I don't have a car, but I have spider swing. So maybe I can spider swing with her.
Cripes. Oh, no, that's the different James. Oh, cripes. Sorry. So I thought someone I knew was in the chat.
It's like,
they can make all these. But yeah, they can make Spider Girl.
And Nerd would agree with me on this, that MC2 Spider Girl is one of the best Spider-Man stories ever told, and it's not even a Spider-Man story.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's so iconic, and it's written to be like it's iconic Spider-Man because it's written by DeFalco, who people have stated is the guy that understands Spider-Man the best.
Oh yeah, like he's the Frank Miller of Spider-Man. Like it's like after Stanley, Tom DeFalco is the go-to Spider-Man guy.
Can I have the floor on this one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I did mention this in the chat before I jumped in here, but last week was Mayday's 20th anniversary. And there was no press release from Marvel, and for all of their grandstanding about wanting more female characters, this is the one female character they've had who has gotten more than 100 issues without cancellation.
She is the longest running female hero.
Like, even Wonder Woman has not survived 700 plus issues without cancellations, and yet Spider-Girl actually holds the record for the single longest continuous running. Comic book character, not just Marvel or DC, but comic book character featuring a female lead, and she's a female lead that everybody loved.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense not to use her.
The issue is they don't like her is the thing. Marvel hated her because it acknowledged one thing, that they were wrong for killing her. They were wrong for killing off Mayday Parker, and they were wrong for ruining Clone Saga. And you know them, they can't be wrong.
No.
So they tried to forcibly kill her off in so many ways, and it was DeFalco jumping through hoops and tricking them in the end to keep her alive.
Oh no, here's the thing. I think Marvel's having the
character assassinated.
Wait! Come on, let the other guy speak. Come on.
The Marvel's having to backtrack right now because they just released solicits for August, and there's volume 1 of the Spider-Girl Complete Collection. So that tells us that either they're fighting a losing battle, or that they've got new editorial coming up, because Cebulski has been kind of putting titles on the chopping block, and they've been the really bad like diversity hire titles, and so that tells us that either Cebulski got his shit together really early and decided, you know what, let's bring back Spider-Girl, or at least collect her entire run that people love so much, or Alonso's people had to backpedal because the backlash was so great against Mayday against MC2 Peter dying.
The thing is, though, about that, the MC2, let me just say this. DeFalco has come out and said that's not MC2. And he's the creator. And Dan Slott fights him about this, but he goes, no, but I made the MC2. I made Spider-Girl. My Peter would have whooped his ass. That's not my Spider-Girl.
Without his leg.
There are so many universes.
No.
That Spider-Man had so many years of experience. I think.
Yeah, the new Avengers were like fangirling around him, going like, "Hey, can I have your autograph?"
That's one of my favorite parts. Is that
what about the Spider-Man with the prosthetic leg?
No, wait.
Can I just mention something?
Wait, nerd, you got the floor.
Okay. One of my favorite parts is that moment where he has to help the Shocker, and he goes to the Avengers Tower. I mean, the Avengers Mansion, and the A-Next are there, and he's telling his daughter about and they get really sentimental because he in a previous issue or something like that he revealed that she was kidnapped and she was missing for a year, and that's why he feels this is so important that he wants them to. Whatever, it gets really sappy, and then the A-Next come in, and they're freaking out over him. They won't shut up. They're like, "Oh my god, it's Spider-Man!" And Mayday
explains into this, like, you always see him as your dad, but now you can understand that he really meant something to a lot of people.
Yeah, that was just like one of the best moments of MC2 Spider-Girl was that like she realized her dad was like this icon and she has to live up to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Can I have the floor?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because like I kind of imagine MC2 Pete to just use his prosthetic leg and beat the crap out of Morloon.
Oh, like, now that was
Like, you know that Quan Chi fatality where he just beats you with like the leg that he ripped off? Yeah, it's just that.
I don't remember that.
Like as much as
it reminds me of a scene in MC2 when he's talking to Johnny and said because Mayday's getting more and more reckless, and he turns to Johnny and goes, "Give me the goddamn bionic leg."
Wow.
And then Johnny goes, "You realize that Reed didn't even finish that when you freaking." It's like when we because Mary Jane. And for the record, your wife would kill us if she did.
Wait.
And although I'm gonna be honest, towards the end, you do see him in the Spider-Man suit jumping around, kind of, sort of normally towards the very end. So I'm starting to wonder if he didn't get the bionic leg after all.
Wait,
it would make sense.
I really want to mention though.
He did get the bionic leg. He did walk off with the bionic leg, or whatever called.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, towards the end, like, what I like to he was starting to be Spider-Man a little bit more.
Okay.
I think Alchemist wants to say something.
Wait.
Alchemist, you want to talk?
Yeah. Actually. Since he's more experienced and shit, by technicality, he should at least know that Morloon is weak to radioactivity, and he could have just done the same thing he did in Morloon's first appearance and just beat the crap out of him with the radioactive punches.
Well, all right, I'm going to counter this. Because this was an alternate universe. This is MC2, but at the same time, let's face it, this was shitty. This isn't that wasn't even MC2. That was MC2 X399, which is a weaker version, which I like to pretend is the universe where that Johnny Yama is actually X23. What was it called again? The Juggernaut's son?
J2.
J2. Yeah, Let's just pretend that's the universe. Nobody likes that universe. Because actually as well, DeFalco has pointed this out as well. Her hair is different. This isn't his Spider-Girl because her hair is completely different than the Spider-Girl he wrote.
I think in Spider-Verse, the artist Copiel went back to the original late 90s shortcut for Mayday, and yet by the end of Spider-Girl, she had Mary Jane's hair.
Yeah, so pretty much it's been revealed that could be a slight hint that's not the real one. And it's not. I will always stand by, and I did a video about it. I will always stand by the creator because the creator has full say. Not a guy that's temporarily writing for a totally different universe book. He does not get full say.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So, actual question here is, we're not talking about family here.
Quick interruption. I'll let you get back to this in a second. Spider-Girl is currently on sale on Comixology for anyone who's interested.
How what's the percentage?
About 25% by the looks of it.
What was that?
I have no idea. It was like someone like doing like a ooh-wee or something. I don't know.
It's me.
Oh, it was. Never mind.
No, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm not getting the exact percentage, but the first volume Legacy, normally $11, is currently $7. So there you go.
Huh.
That's half off.
That sounds actually about more like 30%.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Spider-Girl's complete collection is actually, I could get it up on pre-order actually. Volume 1.
Yeah. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, I can see it now.
But yeah, I mean, given. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! You can go. I just wanted to just gush about my waifu.
Okay, it's all good.
We all love her, and yeah, that's why.
She's my first waifu, actually.
Oh, but yeah, given everything that happened after Spider-Verse, it's it just baffles me that they wouldn't take advantage of the situation and use Spider-Girl more, especially now that Peter in that universe is out of the picture. I would love to see how she picks up the
shitty one. I don't want the shitty one though. That's the issue. I don't want SWAT Spider-Girl. I want DeFalco's. And DeFalco say if you request from them, they will probably bring her back. But at the same time, it's like, but they'll make slots Spider-Girl, not your Spider-Girl. They'll make slots. So I refused to sign that because I knew they would never accept and give us back his Spider-Girl. They would make
the problem with slots.
Spider-Girl
is that the act of her using her dad's costume kind of also undermines the fact that like she was wearing her Uncle Ben's costume.
Okay, here's the thing.
Again, that's also Slot Spider-Girl, not DeFalco Spider-Girl.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. Slot did it because because this was his statement as to why he did this. Because he hated Mayday Parker wearing Ben Reilly's suit because Ben Reilly's a clone and is only a clone and shouldn't be like acknowledged. Yep, that's what he said.
That's
Are you serious?
fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Who's your Uncle Ben?
Yeah, of course it's stupid. Who do you think we're talking about here?
This is just Uncle Ben.
Eric Larson.
Like,
and this is just one more example.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. Dan Slott, for such a quote-unquote Peter Parker fanboy, go fuck yourself, buddy. For such a fanboy, you do remember why Spider-Man is Spider-Man, right? Wait a minute. Wait. Say it with me, kids. Because of his Uncle Ben. Good. How do you homage that for the next generation?
Oh wait, there's this guy named Riley.
And all of a sudden you realize she's wearing her Uncle Ben's costume. You idiot!
And this is just one more example of why Dan Slott is a hack.
Yes.
But also,
an even bigger hack than Quesada.
Actually,
and I never thought I would say that.
Wait, no, actually, what's the MC2 like if we're going to use the real Clone Saga where Ben Reilly's still alive?
Okay, the original, if you do the real Clone Saga, which he did want to do, he stated in this one he loved writing the real Clone Saga so much. Because here's the thing, if you guys don't know, DeFalco gathered the other writers again, the 3 writers that were in charge of Clone Saga in the beginning, that they gathered them back together, they got the band back together, and they wrote the story they had intended with some extra highlights. And they created a 6-issue series called The Real Clone Saga. And in that one, everybody survives. The baby survives, Aunt May survives, and Ben Reilly survives. It's a really good story. You should go check it out. And
highly recommended.
I've actually got the trade on my bookshelf.
I want the trade. I gotta go find it. I want the physical.
I actually have the trade, but has DeFalco said whether or not that was meant to be the prelude to the MC2?
Well, no, that was 2010. It was released right after Spider-Man.
I actually have the physical.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing.
Like when you think about how
wait, can you let her speak?
Okay. He liked writing it so much. He did state that's where his Mayday Parker was from. Of course, he then stated that he would have to go back and rewrite things, such as then he would have to rewrite that Spider-Man lost his leg in a different incident. And of course, because Norman was gone before all that, a lot of other things would alter as well. So yeah, we could have had another story. So there could have been.
Wait, what happened to Ben Reilly?
He motorcycled off into the distance.
He just let. I think he would have went.
I mean, like.
He probably would have.
He's dead in MC2.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knows, and that's why it would have been cool to see this other Spider-Girl story show up. Like maybe I would have thought he would go find Riley Tyne and raise his son.
That's what I was gonna say. His son became Dark Devil.
Yeah, his son became Dark Devil and raised for Kane for a while too, because because his father was Ben Reilly. He suffered from clone deterioration. So he's sickly. Yeah. So I'm guessing that's what would have happened, and he would have probably died in the crossfire with Daredevil and Fisk instead.
That makes sense. And honestly, I'm just like I thought Dark Devil's story, like it was literally. I don't know, like I don't know what DeFalco was thinking, at least in this respect. I mean, most of the MC2 is great, but when it comes to Dark Devil, I look at it's like you were pulling a Stanley Bill Everett. You were just bashing this one out because you didn't know what you were doing. Yeah. He's a clone. He's the son clone of Ben Reilly, who has the spirit of Zarathos, and yet is somehow kind of influenced by the dead spirit of Matt Murdock.
It was pretty much nice, but but his two voices in his head was a real devil and Matt Murdock, because Matt Murdock.
Well, no, it's not a devil. It's a flaming skeleton.
It is. It's
a Ghost Rider.
What's the difference?
There is a difference in the Marvel.
I think it's like I get the imagery. But honestly, I always felt Daredevil works more symbolically than literally. It's like, example, when they did it in Shadowland with the Beast, it was like, oh, are you kidding me? I mean, it's not a very good
thing. I will make the point that I think the MC2 was more just focused on world building and figuring out where everyone had been during like this 16-year time skip. So it was more just trying to put characters into certain places and just kind of leave them there. And then he figured, oh, what am I going to do with Daredevil? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll give him the edge factor.
Yeah, like it was the 90s. I totally get that. I'll forgive him on that. Daredevil,
it's not without precedent.
Yeah, Dark Devil has a cool costume as well, but I just think that Dark Devil's got a cool costume, but I just think that it was just too much.
Yeah, as a whole, if I may, Tom DeFalco's storytelling in Spider-Girl was not necessarily up to par. There were a lot, and I do mean a lot, of problems with the entire book.
Yeah,
but
it's the second
because there was a certain hold on. There was a certain point throughout in the title where I was thinking, "Oh my God, Tom DeFalco, I love your stuff, but I'm getting a little tired of this particular style of story. Give me somebody else." And then they give me somebody else, and the story is complete shit. And then I'm begging for Tom DeFalco to come back, and he's back the next issue, much to my delight.
Yeah, there was there were parts of it I did. Sorry. There were parts of Spider-Girl that I will admit are not the best. Like the second person narration is kind of grating after a while. And there were some really lame ideas. Like I wasn't very fond of Harry becoming Venom. But but for the most part, I think that it does hold together. You'd think that being made in the 90s it would be very dated. But it actually holds up very well for its time.
Surprisingly so, yes.
Oh yeah, it still is enjoyable. Like I read it in 2014, the whole entire run in 2014, and I'm like, oh look, there's something from the 90s or whatever. But I didn't care because it was still very well written and very heavily enjoyable that you could still read it today and still have a good time.
Yeah, but, and it's also kind of like the last of the old guard of Marvel writing. Like after Bendis came on and revolutionized with Ultimate Spider-Man, stories became very decompressed and stretched out to sell trades, whereas Spider-Girl stories were very self-contained and very minimalist in terms of arcs.
You know what? I'm not going to blame Bendis on this all. It seems like more everybody was jumping on the fad, and it did his own unique thing, because if you all do the same thing, it's going to be freaking boring.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean more like Bendis started the decompression fad and then everyone jumped on it and suddenly it became very noticeable.
Yeah, but here's something that I don't really get with the MC2.
Yeah.
Where did Zarathos get into that equation of Dark Devil?
You want to know what? I don't think they ever was there a Dark Devil comic? Because I actually
I don't think so. I think there was only Spider-Girl, A-Next. Okay, I think there was a mini for Dark Devil.
Okay, there was a mini because they don't explain a lot of his origin, and you literally have to go to the wiki to find out a lot more because it doesn't explain that Kane was helping him at a point.
No, there's no.
There was a mini, yeah.
But did it explain how the fuck did fucking Zarathos get into this weird
like the whole
equation.
thing was apparently, from what I recall from the wikis, is that let's see here, Riley Tyne was studying to be a lawyer at the time, and Wilson Fisk attacked Matt Murdock. Like he successfully did manage to snipe him or something like that. But Riley saw this. I think he was working under Matt.
Oh, Kane summoned him.
Yeah,
Why?
like he got shot. Yeah, he got sniped, but Riley tried to jump in the front of the bullet or something, and he gets shot as well. So they're both dying. And Kane is mystical in this kind of universe because he could forge see things and stuff. So he summons a demon to save them, but he can only save one of them. And I think Matt accepts his death and instead decides to infuse himself with Riley.
Yeah, because this was before Kane had a really established power set and before he became anything close to Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
This one, it was like he was a failed clone still, but he was magical, and he is a broken clone, so he is an old man in that one too. Like he aged super fast, and he just kind of remained to look like a 60-year-old man that's like pretty much immortal.
Yeah, because like when you look at Peter, he's got that one gray speck, like that one gray frosted tip in the front of his face.
I think that came from the explosion or something. Oh no, it didn't. But I always thought it did.
I just like to meme that he bleached it just to look.
I always
just to look old.
That like he just did this because he was in the middle of trying to cosplay as fucking Reed, and then Reed, and then everything went wrong, and then he decided, fuck it, I'll keep it like this.
Fantastic Four in this universe, like in the MC2, their story is weird.
Yeah,
weird. And by the end, Reed gets his original body back, and Thing gets his arm back. Ben gets his arm back, and Sue comes back to life, and they're just back to being the Fantastic Four. That's like, what? Okay.
Well, don't you like? I don't mind it though because it was the Fantastic Five, which had Johnny Storm's wife at the time, which was a Skrull.
Liza, yeah.
They had a child together who could use fire attacks and was a Skrull, like a little imp kind of thing. And yeah, Ben lost his arm. In that one, Franklin was an only child,
and he was a psychic.
Yeah, he was an incredibly powerful psychic, which
Reed was a head in the jar.
And then and of course an incident happened where Sue had to create a barrier around the negative zone or whatever.
Yeah, it was the negative zone. She and Reed stayed behind in the negative zone.
Yeah, and so she chose herself to ensure that they could keep a barrier, and then later on it becomes this adventure of rescuing them.
Yeah, there was a crossover with Spider-Girl for that one.
Yeah, and that was it was a good story, but I always found it kind of like bizarre that they would do this next generation thing. Only I think then they come back to just being the Fantastic Four, and yet they didn't do the same
did anything afterwards. They just kind of retired,
Four again, but we're not back. And yet you see, if anyone read a Next, the same thing with Mainframe. Like Mainframe was an Iron Man suit that gained sentience, and.
Wait, what happened? Wasn't there one?
Tony Stark shows up, and Tony shows up for a little bit, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm totally here, but I'm not going to wear the armor because reasons."
Well, he's old.
Wasn't it also because War Machine died? Like in that story, War Machine wasn't that like that one guy? Like War Machine got into an accident, and Tony couldn't handle it, so he made him into a robot, and he's like a living
basically, and it's called Mainframe. And the thing is but that whole arc of the Next was about Tony's redemption, him learning to forgive himself. So by the end, he could literally, like, if he really wanted to, he could put the suit back on. But he doesn't. And he never.
No.
Why do you like MJ and Peter together? By the way,
what did you say?
No, there was another guy. He looked like a black Superman, and I think it was revealed to be Rhodey. It was.
Yeah, it was.
He went into an accident because Tony was trying out a new suit for him, and an accident happened, and he died in it, or something, or he fell into a comatose or became a vegetable. So Tony, but he was pretty much more machine than human, and it just kind of like really depressed Tony.
I remember Rhodey being Black Superman. I don't remember why. It was weird.
Yeah. Okay, so
He needs this.
The MC2 outside of Spider-Girl was Bizarro Land. Like
Yeah, that's
anything
why,
could go.
Wait. We can actually confirm that with a lot of universes that outside of Spider-Man, they usually suck. Like Bendis is like Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man, let me just say this, the 610 was messed up. Like, Ultimate Spider-Man was fine. Some of the X-Men stories were fine. But then you get to the Ultimates, where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are banging each other, and you know.
They're masturbating.
Oh, God.
Like, dude, what the shit?
Wait, guys.
Oh, okay.
Like,
MJ and Peter, happy Valentine's Day.
Back on top.
Yeah,
I hate to keep getting off on these.
All right, yeah, okay, we'll get back to the right things. Also, it's getting a little bit late, so wrap it up.
We should really talk about how we are going to get rid of One More Day.
Okay.
I already did that.
I know, but like I believe Nerd was going to reveal her method.
Oh man, I got like 14 methods. Like, don't you have multiple methods like everybody else does?
I mean, Ursaber's had like
not for
20.
this.
Yeah, Ursaber.
I had one. It was
like Ursaber and I would like rant about ideas. Like I wrote to him like what a large one that was what was it that it was based on the library theory. I called it the librarian.
I was going for that one. I was gunning for that one, but when I was talking to people,
my info.
I asked them one question, a simple question. Ever since One More Day, whose life is getting really bad? Comparing the two, Norman or Peter?
Norman keeps winning.
Yeah, every
Every
time Norman comes close to getting screwed over, he just runs away and comes back stronger than ever. Peter
that is literally the library theory. The librarians came up with this, and it was that they realized that every time Peter loses after One More Day, Norman receives something as if it's a reward. Like, Peter is meant to be destroyed. And then he stated this, wouldn't it be so interesting? And I was like, but why? Why would he go through all this? It's like because if Peter is ever to awaken and realize the deal that he has committed, he would break. And who wants to break Peter?
Besides Slot.
Oh. Wait. One of my things was that like eventually the climax of this reveal, this entire arc to enter hell, Peter fights Norman in hell.
Oh my god, that'd be cool.
It gets better.
And then afterwards, Mephisto's like, do you really think I'm going to waste my powers just to be a glorified divorce court?
Yeah.
I want my payment, Norman. I want it now.
Yeah, so imagine the scene. Spidey is there. He's beating Norman to a bloody pulp with his bare hands, and Mephisto is looming overhead, and he says, "Well, this has been entertaining, but it's time for me to collect my due, Osborn."
Oof. Oh, you should voice Mephisto in a One More Day adaptation.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good one,
right?
But also, I have an explanation to why everyone in the Marvel universe can't seem to fucking fix a bullet wound.
Because Mephisto doesn't want them to?
No. He never actually visited them. The Doctor Strange that Peter visited was Blackheart, a demon who already fought Spidey before. Who just did this because fuck you.
So the whole deal with the devil would be a trap.
No, the whole idea is I'm using what we have right now to try to undo this fucking awful mess.
While addressing it.
Yes. Because it's more of a slap in the face to just pretend it never happened.
Well, I mean, by that logic, we should also consider sins past and have to address it. And I don't know anyone who wants to address sins past.
We'll find a way to fix it.
Well, I mean, at this point, we'd have to hard reset Spider-Man.
The problem with sins past is
Nerd Wonder just dropped again.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take this moment to explain. The problem with sins past and trying to address it is that the one who explained to Peter that she knew who the father of Gwen's kids was Mary Jane. So that in itself is the largest obstacle with trying to fix that somehow.
Yeah, I do think one of the major problems with fixing One More Day is that only JMS really knew how to fix it.
Right.
Because it's been established multiple times that JMS had a clear plan for what he wanted to do after One More Day happened, even though he was not on board with the idea in general, and they screwed him out of the job and replaced him with the rotating team.
Right.
And that's Slot.
Yeah. I mean, I
always felt a good way to undo One More Day was based on an old fan theory that came out way back when it first dropped, was that Mary Jane knows that she knows that she's married to Peter Parker, and that by all rights she still is, and she remembers that. And the only reason she doesn't is because of the whisper bargain that she that she whispered in Mephisto's ear. Now I know, one moment in time revealed what she said. I don't buy it. And I think that...
that's Quesada's fan wank.
But also, there's also an issue with that, though. Why
because she knows that if Peter finds out that, he'll never stop. He'll never quit. Like, he'll never give up to try to get back with her. And even if he doesn't feel that way now, he's gonna he's gonna try to be with her anyways because he's gonna feel forced. That was based on the old fan theory that the reason that she's
there's a big problem with that though. Why did he even make the deal in the first place?
Now, to make the deal, that's the only conundrum that's always plagued the issues, because Aunt May has seemingly died many times before, and every time Peter was ready to move on with his life with Aunt May.
Yeah,
that's the problem, and that actually comes down to Quesada himself. I mean, that comes. No, I mean, there was actually a story Back in Black,
undoing One More Day, whilst also addressing the problems with it. You kind of also have to acknowledge the fact that, like, why the fuck would Peter Parker ever make a deal with Mephisto?
He wouldn't, and here's why. Here's why. Because the storyline that immediately precedes One More Day, Back in Black, completely freaking undermines and undoes automatically everything that One More Day does. One More Day basically says, yeah, this cute little story that we've been pushing for about a year, fuck that.
Well,
welcome back.
I mean,
that's like, what Back in Black was? Welcome back, nerd. Back in Black was literally leading up to Spider-Man meeting the One Above All, or Marvel's equivalent of God, and
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby. But he literally said, and One Above All, he asks him, it's like, what are exactly, like, you're talking about all this about Aunt May, it's like Aunt May and all that, but it's like all these lives, faceless lives, all these people who got to live on, and they did this, and this person did this for you, and this person did this for you. And like, you're gonna really, it's like, really, you're gonna do that? Like, what would Aunt May want about that? How many things did she do? And then he goes to see the spirit of Aunt May, and once again, like, this has got to be like the third or fourth time in the comics at that point. And spirit of Aunt May goes to Peter and goes, I'm ready to move on. I'm old. I'm fragile. I don't really do anything in the story anyways, except be a kind of pest. So, seriously, dude.
No, hang on. I mean, May was a very important part of JMS Spider-Man.
JMS made her.
But at that point, like 2007, once again, I'm talking about the story itself. She reiterates basically that you've already learned all these lessons. There's nothing really much more I could teach you. Like, I might as well just go the way of Obi-Wan Kenobi and fade away.
I mean, she says, pull the plug on me. I want to be with Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
And give me like 100 grandkids.
That's true.
Yeah, like Peter said, okay. Peter was actually at that point. Peter was like, no, he doesn't. I don't remember if he says it or not. But by that point, you got the impression that yeah, he was ready to move on. And then one more day happens.
I mean, I am not the biggest fan of utilizing Aunt May, and I have made that very clear in my writing that I made her bite the bullet before my writings even start.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think that Aunt May was kind of an integral part of JMS Spider-Man, but at the same time, I think that there is a point where she has to be let go. And ASM 400 was probably the best place to do it.
Yeah.
But if she had to live past the Clone Saga and the Gathering of Five, then I guess this would be to let her off the train. And to be fair, I let her off the train too. I killed her off. So I can't really morally grandstand on keeping an old lady alive.
Killed her off in a flashback.
I killed her off.
Peter, don't worry about me. Even if I am an android created in Dimension X.
Well, no, nerd. I didn't even give her the courtesy of dying. I didn't even give her the courtesy of dying in a flashback. I killed her off in a side story. That's more focused on Peter and MJ than Aunt May.
I thought you were gonna say it was more focused on like Doc Ock and Aunt May.
Oh, I mean, it's a backup story to Cindy Moon becoming Silk. So
Yeah, that was a good story. He actually he refixed. He nerfed the Mary Sue story, and he made her fun.
Okay. Okay. Spoiler alert: she's going to be put through the ringer.
Oh, good
Okay.
times.
I just point out, it's in the classic trope of the hero's journey. Like, you know, Aunt May basically served for a while in the JMS run as the mentor character.
Yeah.
And eventually the hero's got to learn to let go of the mentor, and the mentor's got to live with it.
I did like her romance with Jarvis.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
In my thing, I had...
Eventually, there's only... You have to take... If the mentor character is still around, then that means you can always just go back to them and drop them. Well, I know for the continuous nature of comic books, but if you really wanted to get Peter to a new stage in life and you wanted to try something new, you have to kind of embrace the idea that Peter has Mary Jane. He has a confidant. He's got this life. I mean, Daredevil had to, drop Stick after a while, and he was only there for like 30 issues. And eventually Stick died and only came back as a zombie ghost. It was weird.
Yeah.
But it's like, so...
Yeah, I mean...
a mentor character. Comic books, they're here to develop the character, but once they're done, they don't really serve a purpose.
I'd
like to bring up something, touching back on the whole Peter talking to Aunt May and her telling him to let her go. In a relatively early issue of the JMS run, when they still had Aunt May's house that they were living in before Molten Man destroyed it, Mary Jane and Aunt May are hanging up laundry in the backyard, and Aunt May just says to her completely out of the blue, "Look, I'm not going to be around much longer, so when it's my time, let me go."
Yeah, that was a really good moment.
Yeah,
I like to headcanon that the one above all also visited Mary Jane too, and let Aunt May talk to her and say, "My time is here. You are the new Aunt May."
My time.
Then why didn't
you get to make him weak
MJ talk
cakes.
some sense when she bit the bullet?
And then MJ's like, "You can't see me."
And it's like, "No, but wait, I'm not black. I can't be a lady, Aunt May."
No, you could be like Yoshina.
Which makes one more day even less sad.
You know, those trumpets.
There's like all this nature.
Yeah.
Aunt May wasn't even supposed to come back at 400. I mean, after 400, the Gathering of Five, like Vash is saying in the chat, it was supposed to be Baby May, but last minute, an editor decided, actually rewrite it. I don't want a baby. It's like we wrote it. It's still there. So some people state that the baby's still alive.
Oh, so I might have something about that.
Like,
also,
man,
I gotta say it about Dan Slott. Speaking of, actually, it's funny we mentioned the baby, the Renew Your Vows thing. Considering Dan Slott created the Renew Your Vows timeline, I want to friggin' whack him in up the side of the head for his choice of names for the daughter.
I have an explanation for that.
Annie May. Yeah,
I have an explanation.
And Aunt May, and you want to know what? I would like to see a universe where we get the third name for the baby, which would have been Scarlet.
May.
I'm sorry, Ben, but we're not
Scarlet?
doing that, bro.
Yeah, I get Little Orphan Annie. I get the pun. I get the pun reference, or Annie May because anime. I get it, but it's like it's a play on words. I totally get that. But you still deserve a slap upside the head.
Yeah, you do. It's stupid. Everybody was so pissed at that.
Well, either that or he was a fan
I
of
do
Tina
thi-
Turner.
I
May I, please?
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So first and foremost, the choice to name. Sorry, I'm going to have to hold on for a minute. There's probably some bad audio coming through.
There we go.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so the story was the story of Renew Your Vows split off from One More Day, and that means that it also splits off from the continuity where Peter and Mary Jane did not have the baby in the sense that she was stolen from them. So from their perspective, they already had baby May, and they couldn't name another baby May. And the thing of Anna May is not naming her after both aunts, because Mary Jane's aunt is Anna May Watson.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Anna May? I thought it was always Anna. I didn't know she had a
Yeah, it
second.
was just Anna. Yeah.
So did I. Was whoever created the character a Tina Turner fan or something?
Like honestly, like I get the logic behind it, but even then but from a creative standpoint, I think he just wanted to use a play on words, and on it, it's like black, you're an idiot.
Yeah, he wanted to stand out from everybody's favorite, which was Mayday. There's Mayday, and then there was another baby that was born in the Secret War story, which is known as Mabel. And,
in the Civil War.
There's Mabel War. Then there is another Annie somewhere in another alternate universe story where what was it? Scarlet Witch, instead of wishing no more mutants, she says
House
no
of
more
M.
heroes. And so his daughter's May, but they have a daughter. His daughter has a daughter named Anna. But
yeah, that one. I remember that.
yeah, and
then by the way, guys, it is Anna May Watson.
It is anime.
Yeah, I mean that was confirmed like back during Secret Wars: Renew Your Vows. So
yeah, that's her full name. And but I would like, because I'm just waiting for one day we name her Scarlet, because that was the thing. That was the thing. That's what Real Clone Saga said, that Ben Reilly wanted to name her Scarlet.
And they probably will do that in Renew Your Vows, because notice that she's kind of outgrown the whole Spiderling moniker. Yeah. So they might make her the Scarlet Spider.
Oh, okay. That's I'm
just spitballing here. So
yeah,
that would not be the worst idea.
I don't think it's going to last that long, guys. It's already 19K sales. It tanked as soon as they did the 8 years later thing, because nobody wanted it. They changed everyone, and nobody wanted it.
That's true. I do. As much as I do love the marriage, there is a point where my patience kind of wears thin. I know Zarius is like zealous about this book, but
he's pissed. I was pissed. I was really pissed off around 11 and 12 when Jerry left the book. It had problems, and it was showing. It was
had
like
an immediate quality
problems
drop in
even
the writing.
before that.
I'm willing to trade weight for this. I'm willing to trade weight for this book, but I can't say faithfully that I will be shocked or dismayed to see it go, because it lost a lot of its charm after Stegman left the book.
Yeah, Stegman left, Jerry left. We had nothing left, because Stegman was trying to write for it, but then he left to do the Venom story, which apparently he was drawing around the same time that he was drawing these Spider-Man books. But he stopped around what, issue 7? No, he did Spider MJ stories too. But my favorite 2 issues of Renew Your Vows has got to be the X-Men stories.
Yeah, like those actually felt like that felt like a natural continuation of a lot of ways our childhood. Anyone who grew up in the 90s, really.
Yeah, because he brought back he brought back the old costumes.
Didn't he say
90s costumes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Conway say that the title crosses over with X-Men 92?
No, I don't think he officially said that, but it was highly suspected. Apparently, word was going around that they were trying to set this up into the same universe as the 90s X-Men cartoon, and that's why they were like, except I know that it didn't, because one of the editors begged Jerry, and he said, okay, we'll do it, where he said he shipped, one of the editors on that thing shipped Wolverine and Jean Grey.
Oh yeah, Ursaber threw a fit on.
Oh yeah, he went nuts. The thing is though, Kate is supposed to be Scott Summers' kid, so I was like, okay, that's awesome.
Okay, I'm going on record. I actually hate Jean Grey as a character fundamentally at every possible turn. It doesn't help that Teen Jean is the real glue of my whole argument. So honestly, I don't. As much as that makes me cringe, I'm not losing necessarily sleep over it. I always preferred Scott with Emma anyways.
Yeah. I'm actually did anyone else see X-Men Evolution when it was airing?
Yes.
Because I know they pushed the Scott Jean romance hard, and I think that was editorially pushed. But Scott and Rogue had a lot of chemistry in that show.
Oh, she was crushing on him, which was cute.
It honestly makes me wonder what would have happened if Scott and Rogue had gotten together in the comics.
You mean other than her draining his life force to the point where he becomes a withered up husk?
Yeah. I mean, in the last episode, there's a bunch of flash forwards of the future, and it shows the new X-Men team, which is like X-23, Psych, Rogue, Nightcrawler, and stuff like that. And one of the directors implied that Scott and Rogue got together after the series ended.
Oh, that's cool. Because they were really that was really cool. Like if you saw it in the beginning, like the first season, it was Rogue didn't know she could trust the X-Men because of all the trauma, and then she gets together with them, and then she starts crushing on Scott a lot.
Hard.
I also mentioned this. What I liked about it.
They tried to ship Scott and Rogue and Kitty and Iceman.
Well, no, not with Iceman. Not with Iceman.
Iceman wasn't in the show, was he? No, he wasn't.
He was.
Second season.
He was in the New Mutants.
Wait, can I mention this about the show?
Yeah.
What I really liked about it, Apocalypse has a radically different design, and he didn't look like Ivan Ooze.
That show was really well done, and it really did pull off the whole entire like segregation and racism kind of thing really well into today's.
Such a great voice cast too.
It didn't bash you on the face with it. They actually let the characters and the story speak for itself.
Oh yeah, and of course Storm was a baller as per usual, and some of the kids had different age groups, which is great, and they had Captain America show up, and I was. Because it was, I knew as a kid, this was because the X-Men cartoons came on out. I was really hoping they would meet, because I didn't know Sony and Fox owned different rights. I was hoping we'd see Spider-Man once in the show, because they showed Angel and the others.
That would have been so nice.
I want Spider-Man to through.
How much longer is the stream going to be?
I'm going to be honest for a bit.
Talking about Smaxo, Smaxo about Scott, as being a stigma. Yeah.
Someone was trying to talk.
I said, how much longer is the stream going to be? Because we're kind of drifting off track again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm halfway tired, guys. I'm sick, but I guess another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so back on topic.
Okay.
So here's a good question, because I've got an entire roadmap planned out for what would happen after one more day. How would you get if 801 ended and Slott had brought back the marriage and brought back everything? How would you do it? And do you mind if I start, because I've got a full plan laid out here?
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
So in 795, imagine this was before 795 was released, but imagine if instead of cashing in Loki's favor on like saving some guy and turning back time, Spider-Man goes, "I want my life to be normal again," and Loki takes that and he kind of transcends reality. So he realizes that Peter is married, and he's like, okay, let's fix this. And he brings back certain plot elements, like the marriage, but leaves some of them. And because as a consequence of defying Mephisto, Aunt May dies. And so it maintains the Daily Bugle's science editor's status quo, and it shows Peter and MJ kind of struggling to make ends meet. And the main antagonist is Mysterio. And what makes him so dangerous is that he manages to trick Loki into thinking he's a sorcerer beyond any comprehension. And so he tricks Loki into giving up the Sorcerer Supreme mantle, and he becomes Sorcerer Supreme and becomes an actual magician.
That is really cool. I like
That
that.
sounds interesting.
For God.
Actually, here's my version.
I could see Mysterio being able to do that.
Yeah.
I just love Mysterio, so it's like giving him I don't want to say he's not a genuine threat, but making him like a big Doctor Strange tier threat.
Yeah. No, that's pretty.
Well,
but-
if Mysterio can fool Wolverine into killing his own teammates, he can certainly do that.
Yeah.
That's more just Millar being edgy, but I'm sure he could do that. But that was just Millar being edgy for edgy's sake.
Well,
I mean,
no. He was able to trick Doctor Strange and Tony Stark in Doctor Doom and the Masters of Evil.
Well, you want to know
That's
what?
true.
For writers, and it's always editorial that makes him dumber and dumber as time goes on, even though I really like him as a character, and I think he's really cool. So you had an idea?
I know John did,
Yeah.
or Alchemist did.
Somebody did.
I have.
Yep, we all have ideas.
I have an idea. Let me
Go ahead.
let me just finish off my idea. Essentially, have you noticed that like everyone thought that Red Goblin was going to be a demon?
Yeah.
Mephisto.
Has anyone like looked at Marvel superheroes and the sprite for Blackheart?
Nightheart isn't Blackheart. Blackheart hasn't really had much of a role. He's in Falcon, but the last I saw of him was
No, that's not what I mean. Have you not seen what he looks like in Marvel superheroes?
What about it?
He has
It
a red
looks
palette swap that they just label Mephisto.
And it looks very suspiciously like the Red Goblin.
Interesting.
Yes. My theory here is that it was supposed to be Undoing One More Day. But then Quesadilla showed up and it's like, no. And then Slot, being the hack writer that he is, couldn't just like, just do a different thing. He said, well, the design's cool. Let me just, put it in, make it the Carnage symbiote.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Seems
how
to
would
be
I
like
make it-
Slap would be a good
How would I make
writer
it-
if he just get his ego out of the way.
How would I make it? How to make it Red Foreman and make it my foot up your ass?
ooh.
Damn.
Now then,
Oh, I've been binging that '70s show, and honestly, Red Foreman is my spirit animal.
I see.
Now then, the thing that I would do specifically, we do talk about the Sorcerer Supreme and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it basically becomes like that Doctor Strange story with Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment.
Don't recall reading it. Do enlighten me.
It's essentially like Doctor Doom teams up with Doctor Strange to save his mother's soul from Mephisto. So basically, do that kind of story, except it's the marriage, and I'm doing the library thing as well. So it's Norman, and I already mentioned that bit of him fighting Norman in hell. But what I neglected to mention was that because Norman is kind of insane, it's kind of pointless to fucking torture someone who's nuts, right?
I love that Gathering of Five story.
Damn,
So-
everyone loves it. Oh,
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah,
pinnacle of storytelling. Am I right?
yes, very
Rest in peace,
like the
man.
Clone Saga. But you see, what Mephisto does, he just turns him into a demon, an actual goblin monster.
Well, I mean, I can see that working. I just think it draws some parallels to Ultimate Goblin,
A little
where he
bit,
becomes
yeah.
like a Hulk, where he becomes like a Hulk Goblin.
No. I'm drawing parallels from a different demon goblin.
Specifically, Demo Goblin.
Demo Goblin, yeah, I remember it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Kids
Yeah,
are
that was a thing.
But
I mean,
honestly, if I were to undo one more day, I would do it more like Hitchcock. Like just do a Hitchcock story for comic books. Just kind of do more in what you don't. It's the story is as much what you don't see as what you do see, and kind of not really because I think that for stories you go like, oh, you got to go big, you got to go to grand. Yeah, wouldn't it be more interesting if it was like the devil literally nipping at your heels and you never quite see him?
Well,
but you have to also address
let him finish.
Oh, sorry.
I've always I don't know. I think Dan Slott kind of, he didn't just jump the shark. To quote the nostalgia critic, he came back, shot it in the balls, raped it, ate its flesh, consumed its soul, mounted its head on the wall, and then did the same thing to 12 more sharks just to be safe. When it came to literally just doing big, grand multiverse, demons, hell, shit, fuck.
That's very specific.
Wow.
Well, I have a concept. I have a concept that would have. I swear to God, would probably you make it as a small event. You make it as a small event because let's face it, Marvel loves their damn events, and there's one event that people would eat every single day, like Doomsday Clock. It would be Undoing One More Day. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
They could market this.
You're right.
End it right.
Call it the last day.
Of course, I always think that the ending of Undoing One More Day, you gotta put in an extra spice into there to really apologize to fans. You give Peter and MJ their kid. And so I always had this concept of always thinking of how you can merge that kid into the story. And specifically, don't put, like, everybody likes Mayday. So why not get the Clone Saga kid as the real canon kid? And so I thought about it for long and hard, and I thought, what if you write a story where it was revealed, and of course you got to have a reason. You have to have a reason that Peter made the deal with the devil. And no. Aunt May is not a good enough reason. Aunt May is not a reason that you would sell your marriage and MJ would sell their potential daughter. No, there's something going on. There's something else going on. So I state, what if that wasn't the first time they did the deal? What if it was a product of a deal with the devil they did before?
Oh, I remember this. You shared this in a private chat, right?
Yeah, I did. So you state that instead they've been through Civil War before. And Civil War in that one, May wasn't shot, their daughter was shot.
Huh.
So she died that night. She died on the floor, murdered, and Mephisto comes to them. And he gives them a deal. He says that he can change the time that their daughter dies. He can change when she dies, but in exchange, he wants half their. He wants Peter's soul, and MJ.
That sounds better than the idea I had that I couldn't really.
No, that's friggin' dark.
I couldn't really.
Well, it gets
I like
dark.
where this is going.
So they somehow compromise, and they say he'll take half of MJ's and half of Peter's souls, but he'll come back again. Once time is reset, he will come back, and he will demand another deal from them. And no matter what the cost, no matter what the price, they will comply. And of course they're going to do it because it's their daughter. Well, of course, as you know, he does change the time that the daughter dies, but he changes it to her birth. So
stillborn.
But also we learn that he punished them horrifically. Like shit that happened in the regular 90s universe that we get to read, which is all of that Spider-Man, is actually another, like half of that shit never happened. Like maybe Gwen never died when she fell off that bridge. Maybe Ned was never murdered. Maybe Jean DeWolf never died. Maybe this or that never happened. But because he made a deal with the devil to try and save his daughter, people suffered from it. It's the first issue. So then they go on to it, and then he has to go on this freaking adventure to try and undo both deals. And in the end, he is given the ultimatum, like he has the devil. And the devil, and Mephisto pretty much tells him, he's begging him, he's offering Peter another deal. He says, I want you to spare me. Because, like, I guess in this one, he wants a physical form. And he's finally acquired one. And if Peter defeats him, he'll never have that physical form again. He can't live in the human world or whatever. But this time he can. If he does, it's like, just let me go.
Just let me go. I'll never come back. I will never haunt you again, and I can revive your daughter because you lost the Loki deal. You lost all these deals. No, and the one above all is not going to spare your daughter. Your daughter will die if you do not make my deal. And Peter says no. And he beats him up. And so you have a really sad, it's kind of like a bittersweet ending because you do have that moment where it's like, Peter will be punished for what he did. Like, no matter what, there's repercussions for what he's done. Even if it was like...
Right, he accepts the responsibility.
The responsibility that comes with great power.
Yep, and he has to relive that moment where his daughter dies.
Honestly, like, I would have gone, that is where the moment, like, you know, I think it's when he makes that choice, and that at the end, like, just when, I mean, if anyone knows the original Von Goethe's Faust storyline, which obviously Mephisto being the devil draws any story involving
Mephistopheles was literally the name of the demon that Faust made the deal with.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, and in most, like, in certain interpretations of that story, the main character, Faust, realizes that what he was looking for all along, he had the whole time, and that he had to accept that, you know, the best thing to do was just to, he's like, he made all these mistakes in his life that he's already screwed up. It's like the best way to go out is just to enjoy what you have, not what you could have. And it's like, and I think that's probably what Nerd is going on about, that Peter is finally just said, I've caused all this pain and suffering and bullshit. I might as well just accept it. I mean, there's no, what deal are you just going to pull out of your ass that might maybe change one or two good things, but how many another 10, 20, 30 years am I going to have to suffer this crap? How many more people are going to die, huh? And so he beats the piss out of him, and then literally you just kind of see him sitting on, like, the couch, right? Like, just like, or his bed or whatever, and he just kind of goes over this, like, or maybe even a character shows up to try to comfort him, and he just says, leave me alone. And then it just kind of pans out. And then the next day, you just kind of, the light turns on and he's just stunned. Like, that is when the marriage is undone and he just doesn't know what the hell happened. And maybe it's just like kind of like waking up from a bad dream kind of thing. Yeah. The fact that he chose to embrace his fate regardless of what the consequences were, responsibility, that kind of tethers it back. And then finally, for the first time in what seems like forever, Peter gets his reward.
Okay.
Well,
I'm on board.
I mean, there are some caveats to that story. I do think that having Peter rewarded for accepting the consequences of actions kind of defeats the purpose of accepting those consequences. That there's no reward for accepting the consequences; they're just that, consequences. So he has to live with them.
Right.
Exactly. But the fact that he chose to live with them means that he has grown. It's that he's not accepting his fate. It's kind of like, because if you're going to do the marriage, at the end of the day, it's basically he made the choice to be alone. He made the choice that all of his screw-ups, all of his failure, and everything that comes with it. Yeah, but that's like, and it's like, and then remember, Peter's already had his conversation with the one above all about this. It's the fact that he doesn't care. Like, he knows that he can probably make his life better. He can do all these things, but it's his fault. It's his responsibility. He's going to own up to that, and that. Like I said, and even Stan Lee's done this. Like, when, like, there's a precedent in the stories where he's done that with Gwen. It's like, where he's accepted that he chose to live up to his obligations and his responsibilities, and then literally just when you think that Peter's going to walk home alone in the rain, all cold, Gwen shows up, and then they embrace. And it's like, and then Stan's little narration. What, you didn't think what? You don't think we'll give Peter happy endings occasionally? Give us a break.
Yeah, like, that was the whole entire thing about having Mary Jane around, was that, like, you always had, like, something terrible happen, but in the end, it was always that you always had Mary Jane. You always had that one glimmer of hope that always made him feel good and, like, let him know that you're doing the right thing, which was a representation of people in life, that things will get miserable, but you have somebody there. There is somebody there for you, and this is what you can live with. That you go out with a smile. And that was like how I premised the story. Like, you could let the kid live, or you could let the kid die in the end. And if you choose to let the kid die in the end, you at least show a scene where it begs Peter to always smile. Because, through these 10 years without the marriage, he has been nothing but a miserable cuck. And he's always freaking miserable. Like, that guy doesn't smile enough.
and it's like pretty much please smile for and please be happy. And so it's pretty much the next day you see him smiling. And I guess
then you find out why he's smiling. It's because Mary Jane is maybe his.
Is your goal here to make me cry? Because right now that's kind of happening.
Yeah, it's like, no, like Nerd gets it. Nerd totally gets it. The fact that, you know, it comes full circle. And actually, in a way, it's also a callback to a classic Stan Lee trope. That Stan Lee, when Peter would get to his lowest of low points in his life, that
toss him a bone.
Yeah, you toss him a bone. And I think that is what Peter, like, and when you're beating the piss out of a guy, because you literally let people die, you let your daughter die, not just once, but in multiple occasions, you cost your soul, you cost your marriage, you basically are embraced, like, it's like you've done all this horrible shit in the search for something. You are searching for, you're searching for God, basically.
But there is an alternative though. I have written, I mean, I have options of this. Because some people don't like it when I told them that the kid dies in the end. You could make the kid live. Like, as I said, there's 4 ways the kid survives in the end. Like, everything goes back, and he goes back home with Mary Jane, and the door opens up just like in the introduction to Mary Jane, and she's alive.
Basic Tiger, you just hit the jackpot.
Yeah, except it's a little girl, and she has no fucking clue what's going on. And also, I've always just has no clue, and that's what happens. Kind of like that episode of Dragon Ball, I guess. Super. This was just really iconic for me for some reason. It was when they were fighting Frieza. I don't know if you guys watched Super, but they fought Frieza, a golden freezer, and he blew up the planet. And Gohan is just utterly shocked and terrified because his wife and daughter have just been obliterated. And so Goku understands what Beerus has just taught him, and he says, you do spare everybody, but you must kill this man. You must kill Frieza. There is no choice. Do not spare him or this will happen. So Goku chooses not to spare Frieza, and Gohan immediately runs home to his wife and kid, and he starts crying. And he just embraces them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So can I?
Okay.
Can I?
I think John was going to speak.
Yes.
Me, Alchemist.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I was saying, Nerd, I hate you. You made me cry over the emotionally nice story you made.
Isn't that good?
Jeez. He's gonna need a hug now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna hug myself right now.
It was pretty hugs.
Comment from the chat. Dan Slott's gonna keep MJ in the Iron Man book to spite Spider-Man marriage fans. You shut your whore mouth right now.
I need you on
he's right.
Can I add something?
I know he's right. That's why I said.
Yeah, okay. I'm apprehensive about this whole thing as it is.
Who wants to say something?
I don't know. I just come in with Peter. I've always just come with my own interpretation of Peter is that he kind of has grown into a role where he's learned to accept the consequences. And one of the earliest arcs of Friendly Neighborhood, and I know Nerd has read it, and she made like a very well-written critique about it, is that, or not a critique, of an analysis of it, is that really early on in the run, Peter kills Doc Ock to save Annie. And everyone shits on him. MJ is really the only one who has a concrete idea of what to think of him that's positive. And like Peter's like, I know I killed this man, but I did it for a reason I thought was just. And yeah, I killed a man. It's not my usual shtick, but I will live with it because I have to live with it. I can't just run away from my responsibility. And my take on responsibility is that responsibility, while universal, can change depending on the situation. And at that point in time, Peter's responsibility was to his family. And if something comes to harm them, he goes to the ends of the earth to keep them safe. And so he's
going to take down the shelter.
And so when he kills Doc Ock, which was kind of a reason to spite Slot.
Yes.
You'll love that book, by the way. You'll love it.
He makes the point of that. I've got the script right here. A few days ago, I killed a man, and you know what? I can live with it. I will live with it because I have to live with it.
That's something that I really, really like because it shows Peter growing up in another way. Because for the longest time, he has had this no-kill policy where people have actually died as a direct result of the people that he's refused to take down permanently.
I can't blame him though for that. Like,
yeah, but also the funniest thing is that like it was Doc Ock and his kid.
And Friendly Neighborhood is Peter is much more jaded in Friendly Neighborhood. He's lost a lot of people, and so when it comes to that split-second decision of letting Annie die to save his morals or killing Doc Ock, he lets his morals take a stab at the chest.
I think I have stated in that critique or something like that it has been well known that Peter will break his own rules specifically for his family. It does not matter.
And his dynamic about breaking his moral code versus, say, Matt Murdock's, as they're interesting because Matt will not break his code. However, he will bend it to the point where it's barely like recognizable anymore. I mean, like example, he dropped Bullseye off of a crane and broke every bone in his body, and then went back after the fact because he had a bad day with an unloaded gun just to play Russian roulette just to watch piss roll down his leg. Like he's Matt's a sick individual. He is a sick fuck, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
He will do that.
Well, we saw him in Shadow.
I've got a, and I. Oh,
but compare that. But then he looks at Peter and he goes, Peter, there's a reason you're better than me. I may not kill you, but the fact that you will, but you have even though thou shalt not kill, all that other stuff, it's not like you're doing it out of a thirst for vengeance. You're not doing it out of some kind of sick, sadistic anything. You're doing it because you feel there are just things in life that are bigger than our petty bullshit that we happen to hold on to.
Yeah,
I
made a point of writing that
Logan.
I made a point of writing Peter that he does not get away with killing Doc Ock scot-free because the Iron Man's Avengers crack down hard on him. They bring him into Avengers Tower and they're like, okay, so you killed a guy, and they basically make it known that they're gonna keep tabs on him, and it does come back to bite him later when after Peter's had Silk as his sidekick for a while, that the Avengers have been keeping notice of him and to go, okay, yeah, you're bringing in a teenager to play superhero. We're gonna take over from here. And that grows into his role of fatherhood, and that Cindy may not be his actual kid, but she's the closest thing to a teenage daughter he has.
Even though Silk is the same age as him.
No, he did make her younger.
Oh, okay. Here's the question: why not
interesting and enjoyable? You like Silk in this one.
Okay, but I have a question. If that be the case, why not go with Anya, who already was the Spider Girl of that? Anya.
Yeah,
she's there. Wait, what
okay.
With Annie? Yeah, she's there.
Oh, no, not the Anya Corazon, the Aranya.
Oh no,
yeah,
she's kind. I haven't done anything with her. My headcanon is that she's kind of off doing her own thing in the Central America. Just to establish her identity.
I always more saw her as Peter's Robin than any. Like she was the closest thing he had to a Robin for a brief period of time.
That was like during Big Time.
That was during Big Time.
No one really remembers that. That was like one issue of Big
Time was made by Slut. Of course, nobody remembers Big Time.
Yeah.
Wait, I only remembered the suit.
With it.
The Big Time suit.
Because it's stupid, dude. He was making 17 different suits for Spider-Man during the run.
The ends of the Earth
collectible toy line.
Oh god.
Oh god, ends of the Earth.
Guys,
I'm going to be bigger than Pol Pot and Hitler and Stalin. Now
I think John wants to say something.
Doug's rant about this is legendary.
Okay.
John wants to talk.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk here. Yes. So, I was saying... Oh, God, you guys talked for so long, I'm starting to lose my point.
Sorry.
The whole thing with... Fuck. Shit.
Sorry.
You keep talking. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, okay. Let me try and refresh you. We were talking about the Doc Ock getting murdered by Spider-Man.
Okay, I was going to say, I find it funny that it took his family when like Cletus Cassidy has been like committing mass omnicide, and he's like, no, I don't want to kill him.
But it takes Doc Ock kidnapping his kid for Peter to cross the line.
Yeah.
Canonical though. Like this is the thing. I do think that Peter needs to keep that no kill policy because it goes so much with his ideas. But yeah, I don't mind it when he breaks the rule.
I just find it funny, but
Yeah,
it is a big part of his character. Also,
Killing Doc Ock was more of a split-second decision for him in that universe.
You have to read it. Read it, you'll love it. It gives you a lot of interesting insight. It's like really well done. Like
I'd rather not read it because I might steal the ideas accidentally for one thing.
Be gone! I've already published them.
Oh, come on, we've already fleshed out our story so much that I don't think there's any room left to steal anything.
Dude, everybody's gonna use it. That's what they'll use when they're stealing our ideas to make more magic.
Mysterio is the leader of the Sinister Six in my version.
From stealing ideas from DC.
Honestly, like I said, when it comes, like, if I honestly,
guys, let Alchemist talk.
Wonder did better.
Okay.
Yes, Alchemist?
I was saying Mysterio in my thing is the leader of the Sinister Six, and he's voiced by, and he looks like Bruce Campbell.
Oh, best day ever.
I've always headcanoned if they make a Spider-Man Homecoming 2, they need to make Bruce Campbell Mysterio.
Yeah.
And there was a little reference to Spider-Man 2, the video game.
Yeah, that's right. Was he voiced by him?
No, he wasn't. But like,
No, Bruce
the dude
Campbell was
dressed up as aliens, and they're like, "Why are we dressed up as aliens?" And he's like, "We're in New York. Aliens invade all the time." And then he's like, "Yeah, but they don't invade jewelry stores."
You want to know what was great about that video game? Those video games had so many of the other superhero, like the supervillains of Spider-Man in there. Like they put a lot of heart into that. Like Scorpion shows up.
They really did.
I was a kid and I was like, "Oh man, I think that's Scorpion." Because they also redid the outfits too. They did it for it to make it more fitting, and it was just so. Like Black Cat showed up, and she's like,
"Oh, Black Cat was
okay." I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, like the open world games. It's funny because I think nerd, 90s baby too, right?
What?
Yeah.
You were a 90s baby as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
2000s boy.
Well, no, I was 91, but like I was like 10, 11, 12 years old when those games were coming out.
Old man here.
And I think that's also. I think I was actually to one of our earlier points in the stream. That I think did not help Shocker's reputation because Spider-Man just kept rifling the jokes. So you must be Quilt Man, Padded Pete, Mr. Triple Ply. No, wait, I got it. The cushion.
Okay. There is one story I have here.
Alchemist, go ahead.
There's one story I have here that Nerd Wonder would love.
Yeah.
It's one involving Captain America. It's called The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh,
You can already tell who's the villain.
Oh.
Craven.
Yes.
There's a scene in it where Craven finally has Spider-Man in his sights, but he's unmasked. Spidey's unmasked.
Yeah.
What he does, he grabs Spidey's mask and puts it back on him because he wants to kill him with his real face.
Oh, whoa.
So good.
Ouch.
What is this from?
I think.
Just
Oh my god.
this is from Alchemist and I wrote this 5-season long "What if we created a Spider-Man animated series" sort of concept.
Wow.
And Alchemist went with the title "The Web of Spider-Man."
That's a good title. That
is a really good one.
Yep.
And Craven just dumps him in the Savage Land, and just okay, yeah, you okay, Spidey? Good. Now run.
Sounds like Craven. That's like the perfect Craven, because he's built to be the most dangerous game, and I'm so humiliated. I'm upset nobody, like, they bring him back, yet they don't pull that off.
They don't do anything with him. They don't do anything interesting with him, and that's what
Put him in
pisses me
Marvel
off.
to be a joke.
Also, he
The
lost
worst
his eye
part.
to Captain America. So when he saw Captain America, he's like, okay, I could shoot him too. But nah, the hunt's really Spidey.
Yeah. But
Like,
the
yes.
thing,
If anyone's saying about something about Mysterio, though, I'm just going to quote good old Kevin Smith by way of Matt Murdock. You think you can break me? You're a joke, a fraud. Now give me the baby and let's end this. A fraud? I'm an artist. I nearly drove you insane. You drugged me and killed people. There's no talent in that, just savagery. But my dystopian nightmare was nothing more than B-movie material and an amalgam of whorish cliched devices.
That is
made-
not the Spider-Man thing to say.
Yeah, but
No, that's literally Daredevil talking, and he goes,
Yeah.
the supernatural intruding on our world. What? Didn't you use that same shtick on Jonah Jameson years ago? And try to drive me insane? Kingpin nearly did it once, but you're no Kingpin. You're not even close. You think you spun some sort of grand swan song epic? Think again. You told just yet another tale of the so-called super genius endeavoring to drive his arch nemesis, or in this case, his adopted arch nemesis, insane. Your whole existence is counterfeit. You've never had an original thought in your life. You're a product of too many movies and too much TV, regurgitating only what's gone before. You are a human Xerox at best.
I did notice. I did.
Wow,
notice
an entire commentary on Marvel over the last couple of years.
yeah. But can I just mention this with my version of Mysterio?
I did notice your voice casting, and I thought some of them were good. I was actually kind of impressed that you brought back Neil Patrick Harris, because he's actually pretty underrated as a Spider-Man VA alumni.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know he voiced Spider-Man until somebody else we were talking to brought it up, and we realized actually he'd be a really good fit.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was
Spider-Man. He was
MTV.
Spider-Man.
He was
in 2000
MTV Spider-Man, and then he was also Amazing Spider-Man in Shattered Dimensions.
Yes.
I don't know, but I don't know why, but I always imagined Friend of Neighborhood Peter as Nathan Fillion.
But my Mysterio, if he ever got that shit from Matt Murdock, he would say, guilty as charged, but hey, it's show business.
You want to know what would be a great idea if they actually brought those two back together, like Mary Jane and Peter Parker?
Hey, who's got some echo? Someone's got echo.
Yeah, they
Matt
do.
Murdock.
Okay, everybody test.
Test.
Test. This is a test.
Okay.
This is a test
We're
of
all
the
good.
emergency broadcast system.
What the hell was that?
Actually, speaking to tie this back to Peter and MJ, since we're talking about Mysterio anyways, did you know that in Guardian Devil, Peter and MJ have a conversation about Mysterio's death or suicide?
Huh.
Yeah, it's here it is. Tiger, are you all right? At the press conference he called this morning, Daily Beautiful Editor-in-Chief J. Jonah Jameson indicated that, while he lacked proof on the matter, he felt the vigilante known as Spider-Man was responsible for the carnage. He's a menace! I've been saying it for years! What's it going to take for you to get to you people? Are you okay? I guess it's just Mysterio. After all this time, he's gone. I spent years fighting the guy, and now he's dead. It's just, I feel responsible, Peter. That man was a lunatic. You had nothing to do with what he did to himself. Of all people, he doesn't deserve your pity. Don't mourn Mysterio. Mourn someone who deserves it. And then it actually cuts to the funeral of Karen Page in that scene.
Can I just say something?
That was a pretty good J. Jonah Jameson impersonation, by the way.
Actually, that's my worst version of it. I can do if I work up to it, I can do a decent Jonah, but
Can
I have to work up to it.
Can you do J.K. Simmons, Jonah?
That's the one I have to work up to.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
I have to.
Okay, before we get any more impressions, let's let.
I have to talk as him for a little bit before I can actually do it.
Yeah.
I think it was Samurai or Alchemist that wanted to say something.
Yeah.
It was
Samurai
Alchemist.
said, yeah. Just wanted to mention this. Fucking Peter. like all you needed to do to make Mysterio kill himself was to hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Like, I love that Daredevil, like, you know, unlike Spider-Man, who'll just fire a couple of insults, he literally went straight for the throat.
Well, yeah, he cyberbullied him to death, is what you're saying.
Matt just basically went, I am done with your shit.
That was like a diversity of comics style roast there.
Yeah, like he.
Oh, no. It's not diversity in comics. There's not enough coughing in between.
There's not enough destroying comic books.
Yeah. There's literally a shitload of smoke in the area, so he could have been coughing.
No. I just want to just pretend that like he was just like fucking just pointing at Mysterio, and like he's just like, you just see Matt just sitting on a chair. He's just looking at his crotch while doing this.
Oh shit! Did we lose Nerd Wonder again?
Yeah. It's actually funny because one of the panels has Quentin Beck look a lot like the anal love child of Brian Michael Bendis and Dan Slott.
I thought you were going to say he looks
That's
a
a
lot
scary
like
thought.
Diversity in comics, and I'm like, but he's not looking at his dick.
No, it's like there's a shot of Quentin Beck, and it's the panel where he goes, but my dystopian nightmare, and it's that panel, and he literally looks like he looks like he just got shot out of Dan Slott's ass and the seed was Brian Michael Bendis's.
That's very descript.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, so, how else am I gonna say the phrase anal love child?
Wait, I have a question for you, Matt. Do you have a Discord?
I do, yes.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, Nerd's back.
Nerd's back. Actually, you know what? I can do this in the chat, so that way I don't have to. Actually,
don't.
I don't even remember what my.
Yeah, because I want to show you my Spider-Man, my web of Spider-Man.
Sure. Actually, just link me to your Discord, and if you can.
Okay, I'll send it.
I'll link you all to my Discord.
There we go. Sorry about the chat, humans, because I know
does anyone know Marvels?
Oh, Marvels. Oh god.
Because I think I have Alchemist and Nerd in my Discord.
Yeah.
So.
I have Phil Sheldon from Marvels as one of the supporting characters. He's supposed to train Peter on how to make sure his pictures don't look like shit.
Okay.
And there's at least an anthology episode called Amazing Fantasy. That's just a tribute to Marvels.
Okay. That's actually
so I've got a question, just out of bizarro curiosity. That you have you guys seen the rest of Amazing Fantasy besides Spider-Man's origin?
No, I
don't think so.
Because Mark Alford for Crawlspace, I write Amazing Spider-Man reviews with him. He did a PowerPoint on the rest of Amazing Fantasy number 15.
Okay.
Matt, can you? I cannot seem to get. Oh God, I hate it when there's an accent.
Just copy paste. Just drag. Copy paste.
Should be easy. All you gotta do is right click.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it says save as.
What?
No.
Okay. Well, then try command. Then try Control C.
Yeah, Control C, Control V.
I cannot highlight it. There's a weird.
Wait, are you on iPad or something or?
No, I'm on my laptop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you should be able to drag highlight.
I can't.
Because I'm doing that to your name. I'm doing that to yours and everyone else's. So
Okay, you do me first, so that the.
All right, let's see what I got here.
I just want to show you this. My Mysterio's too crazy to really get his feelings hurt.
Yeah, I say put your name in the chat bar, but it won't friggin'.
So I've got a question. I noticed you have a lot of like side characters like the X-Men and the F4 and the Avengers. Do you ever plan on introducing more, like introducing the Cap's Kooky Quartet or the or Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel or?
Probably not. We kind of can't find room now unless we find a way to shoehorn them in the arc
We've
about.
already been expanding this concept into an entire animated universe. We've got a Fantastic Four series, an Avengers series, a Guardians of the Galaxy series. We'd have to expand it a little bit more to find room.
Good grief! You guys have your own Marvel animated universe going on here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll love what I've got cooking up in the background. I'm sure Nerd will fucking love it.
What?
Okay. I
Everyone will
have a moment to hear that you guys.
The only way we will know that she will love it is if MJ and Peter are together, and also is Craven cool.
Craven's still dead. No one brought him back for Grim Hunt.
Thank
Cool.
you.
MJ and Peter are happily married. They have a daughter, and I guess they kind of half adopted Cindy just because she
So
practically.
she's the Denny.
So, I have a question.
This is the room. That's Denny.
Sorry.
I have a question. A question.
Go ahead.
Since Craven is still dead, does that mean Maddie Franklin is still bouncing around?
Yes, I will actually address that at one point.
Thank you.
I know I haven't been kind to Anya just because it hasn't come up recently, just because Jess never took her on as a sidekick. But Maddie Franklin, I have plans for her.
Good. She's my favorite Spider-Woman.
With Doc Ock, I do have one jab at fucking Dan Slott,
Go ahead.
and it's the return of the Sinister Six, where they're doing like a casting call for like replacements, and it's all a bunch of the fucking like nobodies from fucking Clone Saga.
Huh. Stuff I missed out on because I absolutely refuse to buy anything with Slott's name on it.
No, the Clone Saga.
Clone Saga 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah,
So Judas Traveler,
okay, that's another one.
shows up, but obviously gets turned down. Then the Looter shows up and immediately gets turned down. Lady Octopus shows up. Everyone disagrees with her except for Otto, obviously. And
Speaking of
the
Lady
Looter
Ock,
shows up again, but this time as Meteor Man. Next up, the Grim Hunter.
Okay, wrong
After-
Meteor Man.
Then the Looter shows up as Spider Side.
and then the Jackal, and then Norton Fester. Oh, cripes!
No. He shows up as the Jackal, and then Doc Ock's like, "You're not even trying anymore." And it's the Jackal design from the Clone Conspiracy that he was using.
Ew,
Oh god!
And that's when Otto says,
get me
"You're
my
not
shotgun.
trying."
Okay, honestly, there's gotta be a point when Otto and when Lady Octopus shows up and Otto's trying to lull her in, kind of like Dan Slott, how he's never had a girlfriend reference. It's like one of the Sinister Six should turn to Ock and go, "You've never spoken to a woman before, have you?"
Actually, I think they did that once, didn't they?
I'm okay with this idea. We should do that.
Like, just kind of like, at that point, like, that's a moment like where he's trying to lure none of the other
sense, no, because he dated Aunt May in this continuity.
What?
Oh,
What?
yeah, we're doing that storyline.
Like, you don't know how to woo, and just go with you don't know how to woo a woman, do you?
He did. She was in her 40s.
I mean, if you're into that.
Wait. Sorry, I'm halfway dead. So you said, who was dating Aunt May?
Dr. Octopus.
What?
Yes, I do remember Doc Ock.
There was a story
In Superior Spider-Man, he did describe her as a catch.
in the old run of Spider-Man. There was a story where Dr. Octopus did
Oh,
kind of have a pseudo romance with
He kind
Aunt
of married her too, and that was and Otto decided to. And Dan decided to make Peter.
Yeah, but this Otto is not going to be doing Superior.
Yeah,
Ever.
good.
God.
Nobody needs such.
He thinks he's too cool for that.
There was a lot of stupid shit I went through when writing Days of Deception, and considering how much stuff got shoved into it, Nerd can attest to the fact that there's a lot of stuff in it, and a lot of the
did you include?
there was a lot of crap
you-
that didn't make it in. that I'm glad it didn't make it in because it was some bad stuff. And Muhammad and I were like, okay, let's look at all these ideas. Oh, these are all terrible.
Okay, so I don't know how you feel about this, but I went with the Crime Master as the main criminal underworld.
I mean, that sounds fine just because we've had Tombstone be the big man before.
Yeah.
So,
and we can't have the Kingpin. The Kingpin would just invite Daredevil.
Yeah. The idea was that like it's the Bennett Brandt version.
Betty's brother.
Crime Master.
Betty's brother's alive?
Yeah,
I think we should wrap up the stream because Nerd's fault is dying on us.
Yeah, she's about to die.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Cool story.
Yeah. Also, I need to work on more stuff.
Yeah. We should just do a Spider-Man podcast.
That would be fun.
That'd be great.
Wonderful. I think a lot of people would like to come on and talk about Spider-Man.
All right, comment section.
I got my YouTube channel for Daredevil, but when I want to talk about other heroes, it's like, yeah, I'll be friggin' here. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Comment section. I guess tell Nerd if you'd want to have a podcast. Batman. Okay.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Batman. If I did a Batman podcast,
I think you're a little biased on that one, Bruce Wayne 115.
Hey, there has to be an Alfred Appreciation Day on the podcast because Alfred's the best.
Well, I don't know, sir.
He's also kind of dead in White Knight.
So you kind of a dick right
you
now.
want to know what? He's Aunt May of Spider-Man, except if Aunt May was competent and cool for the longest ass time.
Okay.
Alfred is like,
don't you dare say that about me.
He's pretty much like a fucking badass. Like I look at him and I'm like I see you read Hellsing the manga and Walter reminds me of a fucking more crazy psychopathic Alfred Pennyworth. And I'm like,
so All-Star Batman.
He's also the only guy ever. He's also the only guy to ever headbutt Superman.
yeah.
And not come away bleeding.
Yeah, he's fucking badass. Who doesn't love Alfred?
Nope.
One of the greatest internet memes ever is Alfred. The soup tastes like shit. Sir, the last person who ever said that bad about my cooking ended up dead with his wife in the dark alleyway with their son surviving.
Yes.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Alfred.
No, if
Alfred Pennyworth, the only character who's an even better roast god than Peter Parker.
Please.
Alfred is the roast god.
If we ever do like a podcast, we might want to discuss Batman Rebirth and the repercussions his potential marriage to Catwoman might have on comics in general. Just because
I ship it.
I don't think it'll be
I ship it.
They're doing a whole entire weird thing about how interesting it is that Tom King wanted to do a character that is always supposed to be miserable in a romantic relationship. And I think I don't know if the marriage will last, but it's obvious that these two are meant for each other. If marriage is the best way to go about it, it's unknown, but he will write a great story about that, along with that Helena will now become canon.
Yeah.
That will
Guys, this is important.
Go ahead, Alchemist.
Everyone is saying yes to the Spider-Man podcast.
I mean,
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
I'll do a Spideycast, yeah.
I got a lot of Spider-Man to catch up on.
I mean, not today because Nerd's dying.
Yeah, Nerd's dead,
no. I mean, like in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we would have to set up a thing to do a podcast anyway. It would be on different software. But yeah, I think everybody would enjoy it. So
I can't wait to be on that and ruin it.
Depending on what day you plan on. Depending on what day you plan on having it on, I'm game.
I'll bother you all later about it.
We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Over.
All right.
As I was pointing out, like, just one last comment, like, I've been carrying the torch of Batman and Catwoman since, like, 2002, so I've consistently been that guy. So, honestly, when I read Hush and Heart of Hush, like, and seeing Tom King jump on that, and then, of course, you know, the alternate Earth 2 timelines pre-crisis where they end up together anyways, I honestly, I could not be happier as a fan.
Honestly,
I've been shipping those two since 1992, so I've got there.
I wasn't reading Batman comics until the early 2000s. I was reading Spider-Man comics as a wee little lad.
Shipping them since I was 5 and the cartoon was out.
Oh yeah, cartoon, and of course Batman Returns, and even Birds of Prey, the short-lived.
Yeah, the Birds of Prey was the thing that made me realize that it really does happen, and then I was like, wait, Helena's a thing? And then in the comics, Helena is a thing, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
JLU with
So I've always like
with Hunter's question.
So
yeah, I'm gonna jump off for the night just because I want Nerd to not die.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna go break off the stream right now, and if you guys want to say anything before we head off,
okay.
Well, can I say something? Well, this was fun. Thanks for letting me on.
Joseph,
Yeah,
I love you, of course.
Okay, my turn.
Okay, your turn.
See you guys.
Bye.
I really, really want Marvel to get their shit together. Also, if ever they do a version of Apocalypse in the movies,
Yes.
please don't make me think of Ivan Ooze.
Okay.
does anyone want to know where people can find you if they haven't been following your shit already?
Me?
Anyone?
Just follow me at Twitter. Like, that's where I'm most active.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at FastEddieLB. You can probably just find some of my tweets in hashtag PeterMJParker.
My Twitter is Alcanep. ALCHENEP.
Okay. And everyone knows Nerd Wonder. You're all here. What about Samurai?
Samurai Pizza Cats.
Okay. Okay, I can be found on Twitter. Just type in Samurai Raccoon in the search engine. You should be able to find the obvious icon. That's me, and you can follow me where I talk about projects I'm working on.
And I guess finally for me, you can find me here on YouTube at the Devil. Look for The Devil's Due. I gotta put up a new video probably tomorrow.
Oh, so you made those G.I. Joe Transformers crossovers.
I wish, but no. And also, if you want to find out what I'm doing comic book wise, as my pseudonym Wes Collins, you can find it at Charger Collins, where I don't post there very often because I don't have a lot of material yet to show to the public. But once I do and start rolling it out, you will start seeing the fruits of labor. Most of right now, it's just artwork for people like Mr. Marvel and my artist Crank Rats, Catherine Ellis. And till then, that's where you guys can find me. Oh, I'm also on Twitter at Jedi Tamaric.
Yay.
Did we do everybody?
But if Nerd Wonder's posting, I'm not too far behind. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much. But anyway, we'll see you guys on the next stream.
Yay!
Later.
Forward to it.
Yeah.